And welcome in, everybody, here to Homer Bryce Stadium on a warm September evening here on a Saturday night as the Lumberjacks come in at 1-2 on the year, hosting the Mustangs of Cal Poly, who enter the ball game at 2-1. Both these teams coming off impressive wins a week ago, teams which they dominated. Cal Poly with a big win over Western Oregon. Lumberjacks dominated Sul Ross here a week ago Saturday night. I'm Rob Myers. Hunter Taylor joins us here as the Lumberjacks hosting the Mustangs, first of 4 meetings between these two teams over the next 5 years. But this is a good one. This is one tonight that I think at the end of this evening, both these teams, the winner's going to be able to kind of figure out who they are 4 weeks into the year.
Right, two teams that have played kind of above their level or below their level. This one, finally, both chance a team same level, see what we've got moving forward this season.
Cal Poly, one of the better passing offenses in FCS football. Ty Diefenbach is their quarterback. He also leads them in rushing, about 75 yards through the first 3 games for them, but almost 600 yards through the air. Sam Vidlak's the trigger man for the Lumberjacks, and who has the hot hand here tonight could be a big factor in this one because defensively both teams with really good middle linebackers.
Yeah, very good defenses for these teams. Not only who's hot, but who can keep from making the big mistake. If you can keep turnover free tonight, whichever quarterback does that probably wins.
Vidlak, I thought last week played much better than he had in the first 2 weeks against a lesser opponent, but he got comfortable. We'll find out if it continues here tonight. Jaden Southard, the starting middle linebacker the first 2 weeks for the Lumberjacks, missed a week ago. Back here tonight could be a big factor for Lumberjack defense.
Yeah, Lumberjack defense coordinator Moots was very excited to have Southard back. He's the captain of their defense. He's really going to help in that run game.
As I mentioned, late September, a warm, humid evening here at Homer Bryce Stadium. We'll find out if that's a factor as well as Cal Poly from the West Coast. We'll see how they handle about 85% humidity and an 88 degree temperatures coming into this one tonight here at Homer Bryce Stadium. So it's the Lumberjacks and Mustangs here this evening as we kick it here. Cal Poly with the opening kick, and this one will sail deep into the end zone for a touchback. As we are underway, so the Lumberjacks will get the first crack at things offensively. Sam Vidlak, the senior out of Applegate, Oregon. You see the Lumberjack offensive unit there. Sam completing 61% of his passes, has thrown 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions so far this year. As Jarrell Wembley will join him in the backfield tonight for this Lumberjack offensive unit. The Vidlak on the first play from scrimmage. They try to run a little sweep, trying to get to the edge, and Cal Poly does a pretty good job of stringing things out and slowing things down there as they hold it to a short gain, only about a yard on that one, out to about the 26-yard line for the Lumberjacks.
And a great effort by Neighbors. They kind of had him bottled up in the backfield, but he keeps his feet turning and ends up getting a yard or 2.
Vidlak on second down swings it out into the left flat. That's caught, but Cal Poly rallies quickly. So the Mustang defense active here early, getting to the edges and not allowing SFA to get anything going here on their first 2 snaps from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Kenny Olsen kind of leading the charge out there for Cal Poly, turning that into a 3rd and long for this SFA offense. First rattle out the gate.
Lumberjacks on 3rd down so far this year, about a 38% conversion percentage, and Vidlak wants a little screen left. They get it blocked pretty well near the sticks, and the Lumberjacks get an extra push and might have picked up the first down. That's Wembley with the catch and run, and SFA keeps the drive alive as they move the chain, just getting the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 Lumberjacks.
Yeah, really good play call there. You know they're going to be coming for you 3rd and long, obvious passing situation. The quarterback's best friend right there is a screen play.
4-man front for the Mustangs, and here's Wembley on a run from scrimmage. Ball's loose. It's loose in the secondary, still bouncing around down there, and the Mustang sideline says they've got it. You see him top of the screen there, and there's that mistake you talked about, the first one of the evening, and it's the Lumberjacks who cough it up.
That looks like Troy Bean, the outside linebacker that ended up recovering that ball.
So Wembley had 1st down yardage. You can see it here. They get a good push initially to the Mustangs, but a little crease, but man, hand on the ball, and it comes popping out, and Wembley coughs it up, and the Mustangs get on top of it. So Cal Poly will take over after the first mistake of the night. So the Lumberjack defensive unit takes the field here as the Mustangs send Ty Diefenbach, redshirt sophomore out of Calabasas, California, transfer from Pitt, completing 68% of his passes. 5 touchdowns on the year, just 1 interception. Everybody in tight here for the Mustangs in their first snap. A little motion, and Diefenbach wants to keep it, but the Lumberjacks stay home. They don't buy the fake on the sweep, and he'll go down for a loss of a couple back at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Malachi Williams, the linebacker for Stephen F. Austin there, does a great job staying home, letting the quarterback read it out. As soon as he pulls it, he comes downhill and makes that tackle for a loss.
See those numbers there. Cal Poly 6th in the country FCS passing offense. Lumberjacks passing defense 8th in the country. Trying to run to the edge again. Lumberjacks. There's Williams again, the fast middle line or outside linebacker for the Lumberjacks, and Malachi Williams holds that one for no gain. So the Mustangs look at 3rd down and 11. And Ty Diefenbach looks to the far sideline to get his play. You see Jaden Southard right there at the bottom of the screen. Again, missed a week ago, but he returns to the lineup here, second on the team with 27 total tackles through his first 2 games. 3rd down and 11. Diefenbach, tailback to his left. And whistles before the snap. I think we're going to have movement against Cal Poly. Yep, so a false start against the Mustangs. Instead of 3rd and 11, they'll look at 3rd and 16 now as they'll move it back to the 43-yard line. So each offense here in this first possession, the opening minutes of this one here tonight, having a little trouble. Jacks converted 1 3rd down before coughing it up on the fumble. And Cal Poly looks at their first 3rd down of the night. Diefenbach to pass, sets, now will run. Up the middle, has some room, but hit before he gets to the needed first down yardage, as he'll go down at about the original line of scrimmage, the 48-yard line, and the Jacks.
And that's Southern coming up slow again. Remember, again, he missed last week with an injury. Now here on the first drive, he's slow to get up.
And the way he is acting there, it looks like he could have taken a knee to a helmet. And Southard will be helped off here. Trainers come out to look at him. So Southard returns, but a great open field tackle. We'll see it here. See where he may have taken that as he comes in, and he gets hit that helmet right on the hip. Punt. Forces a punt. So the Mustangs will kick it away. No Bugs Mortimer tonight. That's Kylan Harris back there calling for the fair catch. He'll make it at about the 14-yard line. There is a penalty flag back near the punter. So we'll wait for this here. If it's roughing the kicker, they could keep it alive here for Cal Poly if it's running into.
There is no foul for roughing the kicker. The kicker was outside the tackle box. Result of the play is a good kick. First down, Stephen F. Austin.
So the Jacks hold, so a 3 and out for the Mustangs, and the Lumberjack offensive unit will go back to work now.
Timeout on the field.
And we'll take a timeout. No score, 12 minutes to go first quarter. FCS football in Nacogdoches tonight. Back with more on ESPN Plus after this. Opening minutes of the first quarter, no score in Nacogdoches tonight as the Lumberjacks get the ball for the second time tonight. Fumbled it on their first possession. Cal Poly with a little blitz. Picked up, time deep downfield, and almost picked off, but incomplete. Trying to go to Kylan Harris. Good coverage downfield that time by the Mustangs. Calvin Moore, I think, back there in coverage. Through his hands, incomplete, second down and 10.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell if that ball just sailed on Vidlac a little bit or if he was a little bit, almost looked like he thought Kylan Harris was going to keep going vertical, and Kylan Harris kind of bended it more towards a post.
Here's a running play, second down, breaking through at the 30, near midfield. Lumberjacks Wembley chased down, pushed out of bounds in Mustang territory all the way down to the 39-yard line.
Great resilience from Wembley. Had the big fumble there on the first drive, comes back right here, his first touch, and gets a big positive gain for Stephen F. Austin.
As you see it there, they do a great job, great block over there on the right side. Just kicking out over there was Giovanni Allegria. And that allows Wembley to get through the hole untouched. And Jacks with a first down, 1st and 10 now at the Cal Poly 39-yard line. Allegria at left guard. Robert Keller's the tackle. Eric Gray at center. Jason Crowder at guard. Chimdi Wiwu at the tackle spot. Here's Vidlac to pass. Pressure. Now short roll left. Gives up a lot of ground. Deep. That ball tipped by one of the pursuers and out of bounds, incomplete. And Sam gives up A lot of territory trying to avoid the rush.
Yeah, good decision by Sam getting rid of the ball, living to play another down. You see a lot of guys in that situation try to force something and end up making a big mistake.
See Mikey D'Amato there, the middle linebacker for Cal Poly, leads them in tackles, and we'll suspect we'll hear a lot from him here tonight. Here's Vidlak, swing it out left side, caught along the boundary. Blaine Green with this nice hands catch, turns it up and gets it down to about the 31, where he'll pick up 8 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 2 here for the Lumberjacks, who converted on a 3rd down on their first possession.
That was Mason Rivera, the safety, that made that tackle, and I believe he's the one that punched the ball out on the fumble earlier in the first drive.
Jacks trying to pick it up on the ground. Cal Poly getting a push, though, and in the middle of that play was D'Amato. As you see him getting up, Richard Reese with the carry. D'Amato in on the stop for the Mustangs.
And this is an early decision for Coach Carthel and this staff. 4th and 1. Do you trust your guys to go get that right now?
And he'll leave them out there. 4th and really 2 here. They need to get it down to the 29-yard line for the Lumberjacks. Vidlak wants the snap. Cal Poly with 7 on the line of scrimmage. Now they adjust. 4 down linemen, 2 outside linebackers walk up. Here's Reese looking for a hold, gets a push, and he'll get the 1st down as Richard Reese really got stood up at about the 30, but gets a push and will get the 1st down.
And that was Chimdiwiwu with the 2nd effort, pushing the back forward to pick up that 1st down.
Reese with a lot of speed, also decent size, 5'11", 175 pounds, not huge. Late blitz, here it comes. Vidlak trying to get away, stays on his feet, now swings it out right side toward Whalen, but that one bounced toward Clayton Whalen and incomplete. But Vidlak did a great job just keeping that alive and avoiding about a 10-yard loss.
Yeah, I think it was Mason Barber with the pressure early that Vidlak ended up escaping from, kept his feet moving and tries to make a play here, but just can't quite get it out there.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to pass off there. It looked like Keller was looking down inside and passed him off to his outside. Thought he had some help over there, and that allowed Barber really a free path to the quarterback. Here's Vidlak now on 2nd down and 10. They walk up on the edges, do the Mustangs. Again, 8 in the box here, or 7 in the box. And the Lumberjacks will toss it, trying to get to the edge. Reese inside the 25, down to about the 24-yard line, a gain of about 4. And the Mustangs, again, just doing what they need to do. They fill inside out and fill in those run lanes. And right now, making it tough. But the Jacks have gotten them for a couple of big ones. They're trying to do the same here.
Yeah, and that time was the tight end Edemo that made the great block that kind of sprung that run open.
Harris in motion across the formation. They'll overload the left side. Vidlak looking that way. Now flushed again, pressure right up the middle again. This time he cannot escape as he'll go down with a big push from the inside part. I think that
was Danielson that got him got him by his feet. And I did not see who the 2nd Cal Poly defender was that finished him off.
Back all the way back to the 38-yard line, 4th and about 18 now. And the Jacks are going to send out the punt team. Instead of what would be about a 52-yard attempt here early in the year. And that's the one thing they haven't figured out, really, I don't think, is their kicking game. Have the Lumberjacks. Cal Poly using 2 kickers, one guy for field goal attempts, another for extra points. And here's a pooch punt as they'll try to pin them deep. Down there and get coverage. It lands at the 6, and they do a great job fielding it at the 1. And Clayton Whalen down there to kill it for the Lumberjacks, as they get a great job on their special teams, and they'll pin Cal Poly deep. 7:53 to go first quarter. No score. Mustangs will have the ball at their own 1 coming out when we return after this on ESPN+. Back to action here as we return quickly at Homer Bryce Stadium on a Saturday night, and the Mustangs starting at their own 1. Diefenbach just trying to buy a little room. He doesn't get much, maybe a yard, to the 2-yard line as he is yet to attempt a pass. The one guy we really haven't mentioned, Michael Briscoe, his leading pass catcher, 16 catches, almost 300 yards, 6 touchdowns with a long of 70, and I kind of half expected them to try to take a shot here. They work under center at their own 2-yard line on 2nd down and 9. Double tight end set. Here's Diefenbach. 5-set drop. Here's the deep shot up the far sideline and broken up. Great coverage over there by the Lumberjacks secondary. And so that was Jaden Johnson, the cornerback, there in coverage, got a hand on that as they were trying to go to Briscoe for the big play. Now they'll look at 3rd down and 9.
And Jaden Johnson had an interception last week for this Lumberjack defense. They really like what they see out of him on the edges.
Now as Mike Moots dial up the pressure here on 3rd and 9. See if Cal Poly just tries to buy their punter a little room. Short set. Diefenbach again. Looks right on the up throw. This one caught down the far sideline, and an ankle tackle saves a huge play. But the Mustangs get out from under their own goalpost as Briscoe again goes out and gets that one. And he'll take a breather after 2 long 40-yard sprints.
And that was as good of a ball as you could possibly throw right there. It was actually good coverage again by Johnson. It was just a better thrown ball.
42 yards on that catch there for Briscoe, and Diefenbach with his first completion of the night. 1st and 10 Mustangs. Motion empty set now. Diefenbach pressured, slips away from a man. Now he'll run outside, breaks it into Lumberjack territory, and will be tripped up at about the 47-yard line. Diefenbach again, their leading ground gainer, at 75 yards rushing coming in, and you see why. He's mobile.
Yeah, great awareness there by Diefenbach. They're in man coverage. Everyone's backs to him. He just tucks it and runs and picks up positive yards.
And I couldn't tell if that was a safety that came late off the edge, if they brought safety pressure or the corner, but just a half step late getting there and couldn't quite wrap him up. 2nd down and a yard now. Diefenbach hand it or keeps it himself again, fakes the give, and will get the 1st down as he'll get it to the Lumberjack 45-yard line. No score. Almost 6 minutes to go, 1st quarter here on a Saturday night, and the Mustangs, Diefenbach stays down, and that's
injury timeout.
Something
Offense.
that they certainly don't want to see.
Yeah, and you want to use that big body, 6'6", 220 pounds, 3rd and short, 2nd and short, any kind of short yardage situation. You want to use his legs and his body to pick that up, but then here's the risk you take. This is a very good quarterback. You hate to see him down if you're Cal Poly.
So the trainers come out to look at him. And then just watching, we'll see a replay of this here as again he fakes it and then follows his guy up. He just not sure where. He had 2 defenders there on his legs.
It looked like the first defender barely caught maybe the ankle or something as he was falling down. It kind of looks like maybe that's what he's feeling it.
And we'll go ahead and send this one to timeout. So 5:49 to go. 1st quarter timeout on the field. Diefenbach being attended to by the trainers. Back after this on ESPN+. Back to action here on a Saturday night. Cal Poly with a little speed sweep coming right as Jackson Akins in at quarterback now for the Mustangs after an injury to Diefenbach. And with the carry that time, Brooks Wheatley, sophomore wide receiver from Stockton, California. Gain of about 4. And the Mustangs will look at 2nd down and 6.
Jalen Mayo, the cornerback there, a little bit shaken up. He ends up staying on the field, but he's holding his shoulder a little funny.
And they'll try to get to the edge coming left, and they can't. And a tackle for a loss back at about the 44-yard line. Good movement upfield that time by the Lumberjacks. Is in to make that play was Jalen Mayo. A loss of about 3. 3rd down and 9 now for the Mustangs.
Whatever feeling was in his shoulder wasn't there because that was a great open field tackle for a loss.
So 3rd down and 9 now. You see Mayo there coming up quickly to make that stop. Tackle for a loss there as Akins surveys the Lumberjack defense. Everybody up tight. Now they drop a single safety back. Akins wants to throw. Up deep, up top, over everybody. And too far downfield, incomplete, but a late penalty flag comes in, and this will probably be holding against the Lumberjacks. Aaron Austin, the defensive end, had dropped in coverage back.
Yeah, and that was J.K. Moore, the other defensive back that was running with him. I think that may be who they're going to get the hold on.
Pass interference. Number 19, defense. Penalty is 15 yards in the previous spot. Carries an automatic 1st down.
Okay, so it was Patterson 19, not Moore 18.
So that keeps the drive alive for Cal Poly. They lost their quarterback, Ty Diefenbach, and as we went to commercial earlier, they helped Diefenbach to the far sideline, and he was unable to put any pressure on that ankle. So it's could be a tough situation for the Mustangs. Akins on in relief, 1st and 10 here for Cal Poly. And they will run it coming left. Jacks string it out and will hold it to a short gain that time. As Idisu gets up off the bottom of the stack for the Lumberjacks. Victor, a senior out of Dickinson, transfer from UT Permian Basin, a gain of 1 on the play for Cal Poly. And they'll empty the backfield now for Akins. And Anthony Grigsby had been in a couple of games for Cal Poly. Thought we would see him. We see Akins here tonight. A direct snap, late pitch as Akins gets blown up, and that play gets ultimately blown up back at the 31-yard line. As Akins took a big shot from, I think that was Lawate, the defensive end, who came in and said, "Oh, I got the pitch guy. You get the tailback."
Yeah, and then Alafipo makes the tackle on the ball carrier. That's exactly how you teach teams to play the option. One of you has the quarterback no matter what, and one of you has the running back no matter what. Do not watch the ball. Go to your spots and get your guys.
So 3rd down and 12 now for the Mustangs. As SFA, everybody standing up along the defensive front right now. Nobody with their hand on the ground. They'll rush 4. Akins flushed out of the pocket. Short roll left. Eyes up downfield. Nowhere to go with it. And he'll go down at the 26-yard line. A gain of about 5. But that will set up 4th and long now. And Cal Poly, I think, will send out the field goal unit. We'll see which kicker they send out. Gianluca Demaro had attempted 3 field goals with a long of 47.
I think this might be Noah Cerna, number 38.
All right. He's 8 for 8 on points after, but has yet to attempt a field goal. 44-yard attempt, left hash mark. Kick on its way, has the distance, and that one is through and good. So Cal Poly strikes first as Cerna puts the Mustangs on the board. They lead 3-0 here at Homer Bryce Stadium. Here with the Lumberjacks getting the ball back, trailing by 3.
A really good job by Akins there, coming in on that drive after the injury to the starting quarterback. You're coming in a little bit cold. You didn't have a ton of time to warm up, but he doesn't try to do too much. He doesn't try to make it all up in one drive. He just settles himself in, makes some positive plays, and gets his team in a chance to kick a field goal and get on the board.
Akins 1 completion on in relief for -3. Diefenbach was 1 of 2 for 42 yards. Both his attempts were targeted to Briscoe, his leading receiver. And I suspect from what we've seen just in that rest of that series, the offense won't change much. It's just going to be Akins back there instead of Diefenbach.
Yeah, I think Akins probably runs a little bit less than Diefenbach, so that's going to be an adjustment that the Stephen F. Austin defense has to make. But you're right, as far as the passing attack that we've seen out of Cal Poly this year, it looks like that's going to continue with Akins. He's a very capable thrower.
2:31 to go first quarter, 3-0. Cal Poly with the lead. As the Mustangs will kick this one away. Josue Lopez handles the kickoff duties, and his kick will sail 5 yards deep into the end zone for a touchback, and the Lumberjacks will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
They're fixing to get Cal Poly with being offsides here.
They'll move it to the 30. We'll wait for the announcement from tonight's referee. James Brookhart is the referee tonight.
Offside, number 4, kicking team. Penalty is assessed 5 yards. 1st down, Stephen F. Austin.
So the Jacks will start out 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Sam Vidlac here in the first quarter, 5 of 7 through the air, 18 yards. But man, last couple of times he's dropped back, he has been pressured.
Yeah, this Cal Poly defensive line has done a great job. They have not brought a ton of pressure from the linebackers and safeties. It's mostly been the front 4 getting pressure on Vidlac.
So Sam out of the gun again. 2 receivers right. Now motion across. And they'll run it away from the motion. Wembley to the edge and upfield across the 35 and out of bounds there. A gain of about, they're going to mark it out at the 36-yard line. A gain of 6 for Jarrell Wembley. So Wembley off to a great start here tonight. That's his 3rd carry and already close to 70 yards.
Yeah, he's had some explosive plays tonight. He did have the one fumble earlier, but every time he's touched the ball, he's gotten a big chunk of yards.
Second down here is short, second medium, second about 4 now for the Lumberjacks. Harris in the slot left, now will motion across. And again, they run away from the motion. Here's Wembley to the right edge with some room. Downfield across the 45 to the 46-yard line. 10 more on that one for Wembley. And he could have 100 here before the end of the first quarter.
And you love to see Chimdiwiwu, the right tackle, getting out in space, moving that big body and making those run lanes.
First and 10, Lumberjacks. Cal Poly bringing a fifth rusher. Here's Wembley looking for some room this time, and Mustangs that time do a good job stringing that thing out and get some help from inside. Nowhere for Wembley that time. A gain of 2, and it's second down and 8. Jacks again with a couple of guys, a couple of their regular offensive linemen that have been out. Darren Wianco, the senior, has not played this year. They hope to get him back in a week or two. Vidlac over the middle quickly and incomplete. Trying to go to Neighbors. And that will bring up third and long now for SFA at their own 48-yard line. Third and 8 now for the Jacks.
And even there, I mean, that's a quick throw right there, but Cal Poly's defensive line is in Sam Vidlac's lap as he's making that throw.
SFA 1 of 3 here in the early going on third downs. In fact, both teams 1 of 3 on third downs. Mustangs showing pressure. They rush 5, picked up. Vidlac again waits, pumps, throws, and dropped by Neighbors, incomplete. And Sam, I think, was just kind of waiting for him to clear and get back into that window where you could get him the ball. That'll bring up fourth and 8. And the Jacks will bring on their punter again.
And Jeremiah Bernard for Cal Poly was in coverage there. He's in a good position, but if Sam puts that a little bit in front of him, maybe he holds on to it. But unfortunately there, a drop for Neighbors puts him in a punting situation.
Aki Pozeman here on to punt on fourth and 8. Killed one at the 1 earlier. Angles this one toward the sideline. It bounces inside the 10, inside the 5, and the Lumberjacks will watch this one roll down. Wow. So about a foot away from the goal line before they kill it there. So once again, Jacks have pinned Cal Poly inside their 1-yard line to start a drive.
And that was just an incredible punt.
That's a good punt.
I mean, it is hard to do it that. I mean, that was incredible.
Mayo down there to kill it for the Jacks. 29 seconds left here in the first quarter. 3-0. Cal Poly with the lead over the Lumberjacks. SFA with a fumble. They lost it on their opening possession. Cal Poly couldn't do anything with it, but had a drive a moment ago that resulted in a 44-yard field goal, and that's where we are. 3-0. Mustangs with the lead, but they work at their own 1-yard line here in the final 30 seconds of this first quarter with a backup quarterback now at the controls for the Mustangs. Akins under center. Short set. Pumps in the end zone. Now running to his left. Looks downfield. That's picked off at the 25-yard line. Demings will get the interception as he's tackled immediately at about the 28-yard line. So the Jacks get a takeaway. Charles Demings, who's high on a lot of draft boards. Great ball skills.
Yeah, he does a great job of avoiding the pressure, but these are the moments where you see the difference from the starter. It's taken most of the reps in fall camp. It's played in the big moments. And the backup, who hasn't played in so many big moments, hasn't taken quite as many reps. He's willing to take those chances that maybe a starter would have just thrown that one in the dirt and lived to play on. But Akins takes a chance there, and he ends up paying for it.
Turnovers even now at 1 apiece as the Lumberjacks get a short field after the takeaway there. Demings with the pick. I think his first of the year. It is his first interception of the season. Sam Vidlac back to work here. 21 seconds left now in the first quarter. Pitch it, coming right. Richard Reese downhill, gets a block at the 20, out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Safety's there to knock him out. But a gain of 13 and another SFA first down here in the red zone.
Really good drop blocking on the edge by Blaine Green. And receivers sometimes are a little bit reluctant to block. Blaine Green goes in there and sets up a great block.
Bunch set tight left. They pitch it behind that bunch. Reese trying to get to the edge, trying to get a kick out over there. Robert Keller could not quite get around it. As the Mustangs string that one out, will make the stop after a gain of about 3.
Into the first quarter.
Into the first quarter, as you hear our officials tell us. 15 minutes in the book here tonight. Cal Poly with a 3-0 lead over the homestanding Lumberjacks. Homer Bryce Stadium in Nacogdoches. Back after this on ESPN+. Back to action, opening play, second quarter. Sam Vidlac rolling right, throwing to the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. Clayton Whalen with the touchdown catch, and SFA on the board for the first time tonight. 6-3, waiting the extra point on the first play of the second quarter.
And great patience by Vidlac. They run it out and up with Kylan Harris. That's where he wants to go. It's covered. He comes back to his second option, Whalen across the middle for a nice touchdown.
And that one, as much as anything, I think, Sam, that was kind of designed. He was going to roll that way and get some extra time because they have been getting a great push up the middle there. And that time the Lumberjacks make an adjustment. And in the end zone, extra point. Try to make it 7-3 here in the first 5 seconds of the second quarter. As that kick is up and good. 7-0 or 7-3 now. Lumberjacks with the lead. As we'll keep it here after that just went to the quarter break. And as we came back to just one play here in the second quarter there, the touchdown by the Lumberjacks. But the Jacks in that first quarter really doing it mostly on the ground. The two tailbacks had combined 10 carries and 100 yards. Jarrell Wembley, 5 carries, 80 yards. Richard Reese, 5 carries, 20 yards. Vidlac took the 1 sack for a -14. But the Lumberjacks, right now, at first quarter, they're happy. 11 carries, 86 yards. Vidlac through the air, 5 of 9. Not much passing yardage, but a high completion percentage. And it's kept the ball moving downfield.
And when you have a back in Wembley that's averaging 16 yards a carry, you don't need to throw the ball a lot. Keep handing that guy the rock and keep turning the wheels. Cal Poly, you turned it over. Okay, you're settling down a little bit. You're in this position with your backup quarterback. It's time to go after it, and you've got to calm down and just play within your system. We know this team is capable. Can he rally the troops here?
Diefenbach injured in that first quarter. Akins on in his stead. He's 1 of 2 with the pick. That led to that touchdown. Here's the kick into the end zone for the Lumberjacks, and the Mustangs will start out at their own 25-yard line. So Jackson Akins on. He's run it once for a total of 5 yards. Diefenbach carried it 5 times for 14 yards for Cal Poly in that first quarter. Michael Briscoe, their leading receiver, targeted twice, caught one of them for 42 yards. He was their leading receiver. They've only got the 2 completions. So not much offense here in the early going. The one big play to Briscoe has really been it for Cal Poly. But, man, they've been pinned deep. This is their best really field position to start a drive other than the fumble recovery.
Well, remember, Diefenbach is also their leading rusher coming into this game. He had some runs already tonight. Can Akins bring a little bit of that as well with this offense?
Akins, there you see him. Tailback to his left. Motion for the Mustangs. Akins quick out in the flat. And the receiver not on the same page with Akins, who saw a hot route and wanted to get rid of it quickly. Incomplete. Trying to hit his tailback coming out, but he never turns his head.
Yeah, and you can see Mike Moose, the defensive coordinator for Stephen F. Austin, kind of, smells blood in the water. Got a young guy just threw an interception. Now we're going to heat him up, bring some pressure on him, and see what he does.
Freshman running back Malachi Brown in there for the Mustangs. Cal Poly, here's Brown. Up the middle, gets a good push there, keeps it moving, and will push it forward out to about the 30-yard line. Xavier Potts among those at the bottom of the stack. Tim Muhammad there for the Lumberjacks. And another third down. Cal Poly in that first quarter, just 1 of 3 on third downs. Motion again. Bunch set tight to the left. Pressure coming from the backside. Swing it out in the flat. A little too hard again, trying to go to Brown, his tailback, and off his hand, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th and 5 now for the Mustangs and bring out their punting unit.
A good recognition there by Akins. They bring some pressure off his left side. He's got to get rid of it quick. He finds the open guy. Just got to stick it on him a little bit better.
Kylan Harris back deep for the Lumberjacks tonight. Bugs Mortimer Little hamstring problem. Will miss tonight. Hopes to be back quickly. We'll see if he returns next week as the Lumberjacks complete this 3-game homestand at home against McNeese to open up Southland Conference play. Kick away for the Mustangs. Harris, fingertip catch at the 35, spun out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. We'll get about 6 yards on that return for Kylan Harris. Flag down, I think, back at the line of scrimmage.
Offside. Kicking team, number 38. Penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. Is it enough for a first down?
So there you go. They had gotten the 30-yard line, so that extra push on that third down play a moment ago, or that second down play, results after the offsides, lining up offsides on the punt. As we see right there up top, jumping into the neutral zone at the snap. And that will keep the drive alive for Cal Poly.
And they said 38, but that was actually 30. Malachi McKellar that jumped off sides. You can see Coach Carthel over here on this Stephen F. Austin sideline very upset.
So 1st and 10 Mustangs after the offside penalty keeps the drive alive. As Akins goes back to work, 4-man front for the Lumberjacks. Floated up far sideline, just out of reach of his intended receiver, trying to go up the far sideline over there.
That was Brooks Wheatley, and he had a step.
Yep.
And that was actually a really good throw by Akins, just a little bit too far. But if he brings that any closer to his receiver, you're putting the defender in a position to where he can make a play on it as well.
You see Kai Thomas at the bottom of your screen, Aaron Austin up top. They're the defensive ends for the Lumberjacks. Ed Bobineau still out for SFA, missing his second straight week. Here's a run for Akins, but nowhere to go as the Jacks got pressure inside and then forced him back in. And the pursuit was there to hold it for a gain of about a yard. Aaron Austin on the stop. And it's a 3rd and long here now for Cal Poly.
Yeah, Aaron Austin and Eli Fields, both defensive end, defensive tackle for Stephen F. Austin's defense, did a good job in pursuit there and running down that quarterback from behind.
Akins now with 2 backs in the backfield with him. They've emptied it a couple of times and see if they'll motion one or both out. And his slot receiver motions to the top, wide side of the field, and now Cal Poly, I think, is going to take a timeout. So the Mustangs will get a timeout here with 13-13 to go in the second quarter, trailing 7-3. Looking at 3rd down and 9.
Timeout. Cal Poly, first charged of the first half. Timeout on the field.
Timeout on the field. 7-3 Lumberjacks. Their final non-conference game of the year, hosting the Mustangs of Cal Poly. 7-3 SFA in front. Back after this. Back to action now is Cal Poly. With an all-out blitz coming from the Lumberjacks. Run the tunnel screen, get it blocked, and have room to run. 40, 30. Nobody's going to catch them. 10-5 touchdown Mustangs. Perfect call against the perfect defense, and Briscoe takes it to the house.
Absolutely, and that is just a relief for Akins, a young guy making his first, substantial playing time here. A screen is his best friend. They bring an all-out blitz. He does a great job retreating, getting to some room to make that throw, and then when he gets it to Briscoe, it is off to the races, and there's no one that's going to catch him.
The Mustangs can regain the lead here have regained the lead, leading 9-7 with the extra point to follow. And you can get all of ESPN college football all in one place as the extra point is up and good. Get it all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Cal Poly, quick strike. Briscoe with his second catch of the night. Takes that one to distance, and the Mustangs, their second big play of the night, both of them coming from Mr. Briscoe.
Yeah, I was just about to say his first reception went for 38, something like that, and then that one there, a big play for a touchdown. So he's kind of been the one that's kept this train on the track so far for this offense.
10-7 now, Mustangs regain the lead. Second time tonight they've been in front. And the Lumberjacks will try to answer. Got a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball. As really both of them kind of settling in now, and Cal Poly settling in with their backup quarterback. That was, again, I mean, that couldn't have a better call against what the Jacks brought defensively.
No, and that's just great preparation by the offensive staff at Cal Poly, noticing some tendencies from Stephen F. Austin and just having the conviction to know that they're going to bring the house and we've got a call dialed up for it.
The kick, this one will be fielded at about the 3, and the fair catch made there at the 3-yard line. Remember, Mortimer not back there. That's Richard Reese fielding that kickoff return with the fair catch. So the SFA will start out 1st and 10 at its own 25-yard line. 10-7, Cal Poly leading. 13 minutes to go first half here in Nacogdoches. We kind of talked about it early when we first started here tonight. Game time temperature about 88 degrees and about 80% humidity. Will it be a factor with tempo? So far, hadn't seen any indications that it could be. In the second half, perhaps it starts to show.
Yeah, still early. It's the end of the third, middle of the fourth that you're going to start seeing it if it's going to affect one of these teams.
Here's Wembley bouncing it out right side. Stiff arm out beyond the 35-yard line to the 36-yard line, a gain of 11. And that's going to put him right at 100 for the night here early in the first half.
You know you're having a great night when an 11-yard carry brings your average down.
First and 10 Lumberjacks as Wembley again had 80 yards at the end of the first quarter, and so approaching the 100. Here's the big tight end again with the catch. Stays on his feet after the first man slides off and out to the 45-yard line, and another first down for the Lumberjacks. As another catch by a tight end, Gerald Ademo with the grab. The transfer from South Florida, pickup of 9. Jacks go tempo, swing it out right side, get them running side to side. Here's Harris with a block. Flag flies in on, I think, that block out there on the edge. Harris will have first down yardage, but we await the penalty flag.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Blaine Green with a hold out there on the edge.
See Harris there with the grab, and
anytime you get those arms and hands up around the helmet, around the shoulder pads, on the back side of the shoulder pads even,
Number 4,
it makes it an easy call.
Offense. Penalty is 10 yards from where the run ended. Correction, repeat second down.
Mark it from, he said, where the run ended. So they'll move it back to the 39-yard line. And it'll bring up second down in about 6 now, almost 7 for the Lumberjacks. As they trail here in the early going of the second quarter, 10-7. 12:06 to go. Vidlac, 2 receivers left. He'll run it with Wembley out over the 40. Kind of tripped up. He had a fumble early, but since then he is shaking it off and is running hard. When he sees a crease, he takes it. Picks up about 7 yards, about 6 yards. It's third, about a yard, yard and a half. Jacks quickly, Wildcat. This is a direct snap. Green up the middle of the formation, and he'll have the first down as he reaches midfield.
Haven't talked a ton about it, but last season, Vidlac's season was ended early by injury, so we kind of wondered when they got into these short situations, would they run Vidlac? You see a little bit of a tell there that they feel more comfortable putting somebody else at a Wildcat than to have him run the ball.
Toss it right side Wembley again, and again gets a good block, breaks a tackle into the secondary, and an ankle grab and stop will end that play at the 34-yard line. But Wembley again, man, he is having a great night. First guy not able to bring him down here in the first half.
Yeah, it's all about the base he's got. He's got some really powerful legs, and so anytime he gets contacted and he gets arm tackles, he's able to break through that and keep those big feet moving.
He gets 12 yards after the first contact. End around, flea flicker, back to Vidlac, but Cal Poly stays home. And that, I think, is D'Amato, the middle linebacker. It is. Mikey D'Amato said, okay. It starts with a toss on the end around, back to Vidlac, but Mikey D'Amato will drop it for a loss of 14 yards all the way back to the 49-yard line.
And just a great job by D'Amato working through. He was supposed to be blocked. The guard was supposed to have him. He makes him move, makes him miss, and then it's just a massive loss for Stephen F. Austin.
Second down now, 25, as they mark it at the 49-yard line for the Lumberjacks, and they'll see if they can try to get it back. They send 3 receivers left, wide side of the field, and Vidlac will roll that way. Short set, dumps it underneath, caught. And pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. And that's Rohan Fluellen with his first catch of the evening. Could be. In fact, I think that's his first catch of the year for Fluellen. And he gets a short gain there. Third and extremely long now for the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks, I don't think, have attempted a field goal this year. They need to get most of this to try to give themselves a chance. Bidlack, delayed blitz coming. Screen it left side. Nothing there this time as Reese run out of bounds in the neighborhood of the 42-yard line. We'll wait for the spot here, but well short. They may have lost a yard on that one.
Yeah, you saw similar thing.
All the way back to the 46. They lose about 4.
Yeah, similar play call. You know, trying to get that screen, hoping that Cal Poly sent in the blitz the way that Stephen F. Austin sent the blitz last time that big score for Cal Poly.
And one of the Mustangs goes down out there. Ball had just been set for play, but apparently he goes down before it was set for play.
The ball was spotted after the injured player was recognized. Cal Poly has charged their second timeout of the first half.
That's the point I was fixing to make. It's going to be a penalty, or they get a timeout charge. So they get charged with a timeout here as their defender goes down after the ball has been spotted and ready for play. And that really is, in watching it, it looked like he just ran out of gas. So that may have been the first indication, because the Jacks had kind of gone tempo this possession and really was spreading it out, making them run sideline to sideline. And Jordan, as you can see there,
that looks
favoring a shoulder.
Maybe a shoulder or a collarbone or something like that. That's Julius Jordan.
The Lumberjacks send out the punting unit once again. And twice tonight, they have killed punts at the 1-yard line. Zobin has done a great job of placing the ball here, and we'll see if he can do it again. High end over end catch. Fair catch called for, and they'll make this one at the 10-yard line. So this one again killed inside the 20, and a timeout. 9:32 to go first half. Cal Poly leads this one 10-7 over the Lumberjacks. You're watching FCS football on ESPN+. Mustangs with a 10-7 lead here with 9.5 minutes to go first half. They start out first and 10 from their own 10-yard line. Lumberjacks showing pressure off the edge. It's picked up. Little tunnel screen again. They get it blocked. Southard comes from inside to make the grab or make the tackle. As one of their offensive linemen, you can see top of your screen, he was blocking the defensive end all the way out of bounds. Helmet came off, has to come out of the field. Southern makes the stop after a gain of 7. Now, Paulie, I think, feels like that tunnel screen has been pretty good for him here so far. Get down in 3 now for the Mustangs. Akins at quarterback, takes the snap a little low, handles it, swings it out left side, first down. Deming's there in the coverage, and he'll wrestle him out of bounds. Out beyond the 25-yard line, out close to the 27. And the Mustangs right now just taking what they're giving them.
And that's one of the big things about the screens, is it allows Akins to kind of settle in, get some completions under his belt, get some confidence within himself after that interception. And now you see that throw there is right on time, right on the money.
Tailback to the right. Short set Akins comes off his first read, back underneath. First man misses, trying to get to the edge, and that's Brown, I think, the tailback. And he'll slide through a couple of tackles out to about the 30. Hit behind the line of scrimmage as Malachi Brown for the Lumberjacks ends up running him out of bounds after a gain of about 2, second down and 8.
And a good decision by Akins. We saw the interception earlier, kind of tried to force something right there. Doesn't do that, just takes the back out of the backfield and gets a positive play on first down.
Akins again surveys things. 6 in the box for the Lumberjacks. As again, they bring in the extra man, swing it out left side. Good open field tackle. Penalty flag flies in from the umpire. That one Stopped after a gain of about a yard to the 31-yard line. And Lawate Jerkin, who had dropped really a defensive end outside linebacker, he is starting
Personal
to grow
foul.
up.
Chop block, number 66 and 26, offense. Penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
That'll move the ball all the way back to the 15-yard line. And that'll bring up about 23. Second and 23 here for the Mustangs as they get behind the sticks after that big 15-yard personal foul penalty. Again, pressure showing off the edge. Pull it out, swing it out, left side this time. Just dump it out there in the flat. The Jacks were there quickly as the ball's caught for no gain. Wheatley, I think, with the grab, it was. And quick coverage there for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, that was Raiden Campbell from the safety position that came all the way down and made that tackle.
The third down now and long, 3rd and 18 for the Mustangs inside their own 20. Short set. Steps, throws deep up the seam, overthrows everybody, incomplete. Nobody home in the middle of the field. Alafipo was the closest man there for the Lumberjacks in coverage. And that one falls to the turf, incomplete. 4th and long, and the Mustangs will punt it away. 10-7, Cal Poly with the lead. 7:15 to go here in the first half.
And he had Wheatley coming across the middle of the field there, but he was well covered. It's actually kind of a good thing that that ball kind of sails over his head and goes incomplete.
Mustangs on to punt. Harris again back. Waits at about the SFA 35-yard line. Remember, they ran into the kicker. They were offsides once on the punt team. This is Harris trying to get outside. Does. Harris with some speed. The 40. Turns it back inside 45. All the way back across the field. Slides through a tackle. Can't avoid the second man. And will go down at the 47-yard line. So Kylan Harris.
The punter that made the tackle. You don't typically see that great effort by that young man.
He's full-blown Pat McAfee.
Timeout on the field.
So Harris with the return timeout. 6:57 to go first half. 10-7 Cal Poly with the lead. This is FCS football on ESPN+. Week 4 of the college football season here for the Lumberjacks and the Mustangs. Cal Poly. Cal Poly at 2-1 coming into this one tonight. They lead 10-7. Vidlac at quarterback. Looks off his first man. Late over the middle through the hands of Harris and incomplete.
Harris just had the big punt return there. Maybe a little bit tired, but man, that was a good throw by Sam Vidlac.
As it just went through his hands and it bounces off the hands of the safety. And fortunately for the Jacks, falls incomplete. Each team with a turnover so far here tonight. I think the safety at that time more concerned about making a tackle after Harris makes the catch. If he's looking for that ball, perhaps has a chance. Nevertheless, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Jacks look to the near sideline to get the play. Richard Reese in the backfield here with Sam Vidlac. They'll run it coming left. Turns it back up. Across midfield down to about the 48-yard line goes Richard Reese, the transfer from Baylor.
Reese had a lot of big plays last week for this Stephen F. Austin offense. We kind of expected to see a couple of explosives from him here tonight as well.
Big 3rd down here for the Lumberjacks, who find themselves down with 6:28 to go here in the first half. 3rd and 5. Richard Reese nowhere to go that time as Cal Poly brought pressure off around both ends. And the Mustangs, Buddha, they're right defensive end, Thomas Buddha, the senior from Newport Beach, California, getting some great pressure. Tackle for a loss back at the 50-yard line. And the Lumberjacks forced to punt it away again. Tobin back on to punt for the Lumberjacks, and he has had a phenomenal night. He has killed 3 now inside the 20-yard line, 2 of them at the 1. As he gets this one away, high end over end catch, another fair catch called for and made this time at about the 12-yard line. And Cal Poly takes over again inside their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, Pozobin is going to have a case for Special Teams Player of the Week in the Southland Conference or even at the whole FCS level.
Defense back to work. Cal Poly right now, they've rushed it 12 times for 29 yards. They're 7 of 13 through the air for 127. Right around just over 150 yards of total offense tonight for Cal Poly. Lumberjacks about the same. 112 on the ground, 47 through the air. So both defenses playing pretty well here in the early going. 10-7 ball game. Cal Poly with a lead and the ball. 1st and 10 coming out at their own 12. Rush it coming left, but penetration by the Lumberjacks, and they get Jaden Southard. Southard makes the stop back at the 8. Remember, he went out, I think the first play hits the quarterback on the hip. I didn't think we'd see him again. He's been back out there, and that's why Mike Moots was happy to see him back in the lineup.
Well, he just comes down field like a rocket. The guard is supposed to be pulling out there to get him, but he just can't get there in time because Jaden reacts so quickly.
Loss of 4 on that one. 2nd and 14. Throwing from his own goal line. Over the middle, a little high and incomplete. Trying to go, I think, to Briscoe again. Just running a deep slant. Deep post in there, and that one's just a little bit high for Briscoe.
Yeah, had a little bit of pressure in his face, which caused that ball to sail on him just a little bit. But, man, if that one's a little bit lower, Briscoe is probably still running.
The 3rd down now, 14. 13 officially for Cal Poly. See what the Lumberjacks do. They look here to the near sideline. Mike Moots trying to figure out what he wants to do. Will he heat him up or drop back? Just try to keep him bottled up here. Akins at quarterback. They get a push in the end zone. Akins rolling, looking deep over the middle. Caught. Tackle at the 30, and that's a 1st down for Cal Poly. As Akins kept that one alive with his feet and finds a man downfield. And that one down there for Washington. Tyree Washington, the tailback, converts on 3rd and long. 1st and 10 now, Cal Poly at their own 30.
And a great play by Akins, getting out on the edge. He actually put the cornerback, Brandon Washington, in a bind. He had to make a decision to come downhill and tackle Akins or play coverage.
Swing it out of the backfield again through the hands of his tailback. As he goes a little bit high and through the hands of Brown. 2nd down and 10. Again, they lost their starter, Ty Diefenbach, early in the 1st quarter. What appeared to be a leg or ankle injury. It's been Akins the rest of the way, but he has done a good job. 2nd down and 10. Lumberjacks rush 4. Akins pumps once, hit. He'll go down now as the Lumberjacks will get home for the first time here tonight. And Akins will go down back at about the 26-yard line.
I think that's a Ducey.
Ducey, and also I think Fields, Pods, I'm not sure. I think Elijah Fields was back there. 3rd of almost 15 now for the Mustangs. Just under 4 minutes to go. This is a big play here for the Lumberjacks, trying to get the ball back and give the offense enough time to put some points on the board here at the end of the 1st half. Draw play. But Kai Thomas stays home, and he will not allow that one to get going as Kai makes the tackle. Near the line of scrimmage, no gain. 4th and about 14 now, and the Mustangs will punt it away again.
That's a big sigh of relief for Coach Carthel and this SFA coaching staff. They had learned, a couple of big 3rd downs slip away from them and allowed Cal Poly to either extend the drive or even score a touchdown. So that one, being able to get off the field and force that punt is massive for that defense.
Cal Poly now 3 of 9 on 3rd downs. Lumberjacks just 1 of 8 here in the 1st half on 3rd downs. Flags fly. This was blown dead before they hit it away as they're going to have a false start.
False start, number 6, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Harris again back deep to receive this for the Lumberjacks. His last punt return, he's always, it seems like, just a step away. He has that ability to break a big one. See if he gets an opportunity here. Mustangs get it away. Harris, no fair catch, fielded at the 35, gets a block, upfield 40, midfield, Harris weaving through traffic, breaks it outside 30, 25, to the sideline, 10, 5, touchdown Lumberjacks. Kylon Harris, 65-yard punt return, and there's a big play in the special teams for the Lumberjacks.
And, you know, obviously he's got all the physical ability in the world, but there is just a knack for those guys that know how to do punt returns, find the creases, get upfield, and then make guys miss in the open field. It's a hard thing to do, but the guys that have the knack for it are really, really good at it.
He got great blocks downfield, and that one right there gets him into the end zone as that block made at the goal line. But Harris, that's the second punt return for a touchdown for the Lumberjacks. Bugs Mortimer had one week 2 against Abilene Christian. Harris with his first of the year as a punt returner for the Lumberjacks, and that gives the SFA back the lead with the extra point on its way. That one is up and good, so 14-10 now. Lumberjacks retake the lead with 2:26 to go here in the first half. Cal Poly with just one timeout remaining. Lumberjacks with 3, and now you would think if the Lumberjacks here in this possession early on can pin Cal Poly, force him into 3rd and long. Perhaps we see some timeouts, try to get the ball back one more time for the Lumberjack offense.
And they're also going to get the 2-minute timeout to stop the clock as well. So, you know, it's kind of a tale of two stories. You know, if you're Cal Poly, you would really want to get the score here and take the lead going into half. But if you're Stephen F. Austin, if you can force them off quickly, extend your lead.
You see our Lumberjack buddy there tonight. He is saw him last night at the alumni event last night. And he said that the 350-plus push-ups done a week ago, 14 points in the first half, much more to his liking here.
Yeah, anything from 314 is much more to his liking.
He did tell me that after 40, all those push-ups he did last week were fake push-ups.
Listen, if you're doing something, you're doing something. At 300-something times is a lot.
Yeah. Jacks to kick it away now, lead 14-10, 2:26 to go first half. And to kick it away, and this will sail 5 yards deep, and they'll bring it out. Cal Poly with the return, hit at the 10 and down. Great special teams coverage, and the Lumberjacks pride themselves on special teams. And tonight, right now, they're probably winning the battle of the special teams here so far this evening.
I think that was either Boston Wilson, maybe Spencer Moore. Chance Sauter is who I'm thinking of. That's who that was that made that tackle. 34.
They will mark it at the 9-yard line. And the defense will try to keep the Mustangs pinned up here. Again, SFA with 3 timeouts. Cal Poly with just 1. Remember, they were charged their second timeout after the injury to a defensive player. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the half. Akins at quarterback. Southern comes up, pick up over the middle. Lumberjacks with the lead. Final 2 minutes away on ESPN Plus. Homer Bryce Stadium in Nacogdoches, Texas here. 14-10 Lumberjacks and Cal Poly. First game between these two of a 4-game series. SFA will return this game in 26. Take a year off next year, so they'll return it actually in 27 and then play again in 28 and 29. 3 more matchups between these two, the first of a 4-game contract here tonight. Second down and 4, Akins at quarterback, tailback to his right. He'll flip him over now to the left. Fake it to him, swing it out, flanker screen, but that one dropped by Briscoe. As Demings was out there in coverage, Southern out there as well, along with Alafipo for the Lumberjacks. And that one if you're the Lumberjack defensive unit, that's exactly what you want. An incomplete pass stops the clock. You save your timeout. It's 3rd down and 4, and you can try to get off the field here.
Yeah, this is a big down for both of these teams.
Yep.
If you're Stephen F. Austin, you've got a chance to tack onto your score, and then if you're Cal Poly, you really need to pick this up so that you can keep this manageable at 14-10 at half.
Over the middle, slant, well thrown, and caught out at about the 28-yard line. Good coverage there by Mayo, but a great pass and catch for Cal Poly, and they convert.
Yeah, Akins put that about the only place he could have put it to allow his guy to make a play and not put it in harm's way.
Akins again comes off his man, now goes underneath, caught, and a big hit at about the 35-yard line, and trying to get to the sideline. Down at the 36-yard line goes Brown, the tailback. But, man, he delivered the blow there in the secondary.
Yeah, Mayo, the corner, it's not often you see corners getting physical like that. He does there, and unfortunately, he pays the price a little bit.
Gain of 9. We'll look at that one again here real quickly. And you can see right here, he comes up, has him squared up. And, man, Brown, good balance to stay on his feet. Back to, they run it up the middle, and they'll pick up the first down as they'll move it out to about the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10, Mustangs now. And again, they only got 1 timeout, still 1:09. Plenty of time left for them, but they need a chunk here quickly. Over the middle again, caught. And out to midfield. Jacks trying to, I think, zone it up down there, and they just find an empty spot. As Reddick is down there for the Lumberjacks, but a fresh set of downs now for Cal Poly as they start to get into scoring territory here. Now
Stephen
Kobe
F. Austin,
Carthel and his
charge
defensive
of the
staff
first
will
half.
take a timeout.
This will be a 30-second
Malachi Brown
timeout.
will slow to get up. So their first timeout here tonight. 2 timeouts remaining for them. Cal Poly will regroup. So the Mustangs were giving the Lumberjacks there a little tempo, and Jacks, as much as anything, just want to make sure they got some fresh people on the field defensively and try to get a stop here and hold on to this 4-point lead here at the break.
Yeah, and Stephen F. Austin had a cornerback, Washington, that was kind of hobbling right there before that timeout was called. So both teams feeling a little bit of physical fatigue here at the end of the half.
Lumberjacks again, this is a middle game of a 3-game homestand. They opened it last week with a win over Sul Ross. Cal Poly at home last week beat Western Oregon convincingly. SFA continues the homestand, wraps it up next week as they open up Southland Conference play against McNeese. Over the middle again, tipped and incomplete. Trying to go to Wheatley, but well covered and incomplete.
And that was Washington on that play right there for Stephen F. Austin. So saw him limping a little bit, but he comes back there and makes a big play.
2nd down and 10 now for the Mustangs. Akins came on middle of the first quarter. Has thrown it well. .52 seconds remaining first half. Akins at this point now 11 of 20, 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. With time behind his intended receiver, and that time I think Mayo is the only guy who gets a hand on that. The Lumberjack cornerback falls incomplete, 3rd and 10. And Cal Poly a man down. Ball's not been spotted. This won't cost them their final timeout.
It might be Hayden Jones, the right guard.
They were already without Leif Magnuson, who they listed as their starter at one of their at right guard. They could start getting kind of thin. It is Hayden Jones, who's been playing guard for him, is listed as a backup center coming into this one tonight. As he is up. Help him off over there. You see there, Jones being helped off. Not putting much weight on that left ankle. Now Poly's going to be looking at 3rd down and 10. 48 seconds left in the first half. We've got a 44-yard field goal to start the scoring here tonight. They probably need to get at least another 25 yards here to give themselves a shot to put some more points on the board. But they got to convert here on this 3rd and 10. Pressure up the middle. Akins hit as he lets it go. That one sails incomplete into the SFA sideline. And the Lumberjacks will get a stop here at midfield and force Cal Poly to punt it away with 44 seconds remaining in the first half.
The biggest thing for Cal Poly here is do not punt the ball to number 4. We've already seen a big return out of him. We don't want to see another one. Let's punt this thing either out of the end zone or out of the sideline. Whatever you got to do, do not let Kylan Harris touch this ball.
You would think that, yeah, I mean, don't even give him the opportunity.
Exactly.
Punting from midfield. 44 seconds left in the half. And they're going to let Harris, he'll let it sail over his head into the end zone untouched. Touchback. So the Jacks will have it with 37 seconds left at their own 20-yard line, still with 2 timeouts. And now, if you're Colby Carthel, do you really force the issue here?
No, I think you take a knee
into the field.
I think you take a knee. Happy with the lead going into half. You had a turnover. You've had some offensive drives that's kind of sputtered a little bit. Let's just get into the halftime, regroup, make some adjustments, come out, have a good second half. Same thing for Cal Poly, you know.
Yeah, and you know, and if you are the Lumberjacks, we see a new tailback. Anthony Williams is in there now at running back. The point I was going to make was that, I mean, I'll give it to Jarrell Wembley and see if he can break a 40-yard run. We've seen a couple here tonight. Anthony Williams perhaps gets a shot. He does. Williams coming left. Spun down at about the 23-yard line as the Mustangs do a pretty good job there. Keeps the clock running. Gain of 3 for Williams. Thought we might see him. I was at practice Thursday with SFA, and they said that Williams might see some time basically as a wing or as a tight end. Jack's kind of thin there. This time they swing him out of the backfield, caught along the boundary, and he gets out of bounds short of the first down. Steps out at about the 28-yard line. We'll stop the clock with 7 seconds left. And now I think they will just line it up and kneel it and so get to the half. Now they're going to change things up. Play clock still with 12 seconds on it, so they got some time. They will run a play here on 3rd down and 1. Vidlac swinging out right side, caught. Blaine Green stays in bounds. First down. And that gets it to the 36, and that'll be the end of the first half. So 30 minutes complete here in Nacogdoches tonight. Stephen F. Austin leads this one 14-10 over Cal Poly. Coming up the half, we'll look at first half stats, scores from around the rest of the Southland Conference, and more coming your way on ESPN Plus from Nacogdoches, Texas. Possession, 3rd quarter. Cal Poly, after the kick into the end zone, will start out 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. As the Mustangs will send their quarterback. Jackson Akins out there, 6'2", 205-pound sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona, transfer from the University of Mount Union. He took over after Ty Diefenbach was injured in the 1st quarter. Back in control here of the Mustangs. Looking right, pumps it, now throws it out toward his tailback, but short and incomplete.
Yeah, Kai Thomas right there at his ankles as he's trying to make that throw. He really cannot step into it, and that's why he short hops it to the back.
The one, you know, his passes out on the edges have been, he's best, it seems, throwing those slants, stuff over the middle.
Right.
Or certainly seems to be more comfortable anyway. 2nd down and 10 here. And they will run it for really no gain. Off left tackle, and there was not much there. Lumberjacks stacked that one up quickly. No gain, 3rd down 10. So 2 quick stops here, an incomplete pass and a run for no gain. And the Mustangs continue to look for a ground game here. Akins will try to convert on 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Aaron Austin and Eli Fields on the right side of that defensive line just stand it up. Those get no push, and then the back has nowhere to go from there.
Mustangs were 4 of 10 on 3rd downs in the first half. Dragging underneath, picked off. Malachi Brown at the 20. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Stephen F. Austin. That was it looked like behind his receiver and right into the arms of a Lumberjack linebacker.
I think that's Brandon Washington, the corner, that's just makes a great play, a heads-up play. The back is on a drag there. It's a little bit behind him, and Washington with the instincts to catch the ball and then run to the end zone for a big, big play for this Stephen F. Austin defense.
Touchdown. The Lumberjacks there, as that will stretch the lead now to 20-10 with the extra point coming your way. As that one's up and good. So Cal Poly, they blink first here. Opening possession, the opening minute of the third quarter, as they commit their second turnover of the night. That one, the pick. It goes to the house for a pick six, and the Lumberjacks in front, 21-10. Timeout on the field. Back with more on ESPN+. Malachi Williams, a 28-yard interception return for a touchdown. Lumberjacks stretch the lead now 21-10 as the kick by Jacob Hand, 8 yards deep, touchback. And Cal Poly again starts out at its own 25-yard line here. Second pick thrown tonight by the Mustangs. Second pick thrown tonight by Jackson Akins. And that one, again, you can see behind his intended receiver. And Williams, with eyes on the quarterback, wraps it up as it hits him right between the threes. And he goes untouched into the end zone. Two turnovers tonight by the Mustangs. One, that one returned for the touchdown. The other led to the only offensive touchdown of the night for the Lumberjacks. But the Mustangs back out there, still in this one, down 11, 21-10. Fake the speed sweep. Here's Akins upfield out beyond the 35. He'll get about 11 yards on the quarterback keeper as Cal Poly looks to try to find a ground game here.
And that's maybe the biggest area that they lost from Diefenbach going out was his ability to run the ball. He was their leading rusher coming into this game.
Tailback this time, hit at the line of scrimmage, but keeps his feet moving, and he'll get a couple, maybe three. As Caden Turner and others in there for the Lumberjacks defensively to stop that one after a gain of about 3. Opening minutes, third quarter. SFA with the defensive score a moment ago. Akins short set, looks left, pulls it down. Now he'll run. Hit and dropped at about the 42 after gaining 3. Jacks were quickly on the quarterback after he decided to tuck it and run that time. That's up a third down and about 4 now for Cal Poly. Again, they were 4 of 10 on third downs in the first half. Threw a pick on third down just a moment ago. Late substitution, and the Lumberjacks will take their time getting their defensive subs on the field.
Yeah, they're going to bring in a nickel here in this third down. They feel like Cal Poly's maybe looking to throw a screen here.
They bring pressure off the edge. Mesh point is bobbled and dropped, and I think Cal Poly gets back on it as Akins, they fight for it back there. Akins and Brown right there, it just hits Brown's hip as he tried to pull it out. And the Mustangs fortunate that they don't turn it over again here in the third quarter.
And he's looking to just throw a quick little screen out to the flat to his back, and the fake exchange right there does him in.
Mustangs on to punt. S.E. Ehrlich on to punt here for Cal Poly. Had a good first half. Lumberjacks late getting their 11th guy on the field. Gets out there trying to get lined up. And Ehrlich with this one away. Short. Fair catch made on the run at the 29-yard line by Kylan Harris. Return run for a touchdown earlier. And the SFA offense will go to work with 12:03 left here in the third, leading by 11, 21-10.
Stephen F. Austin with a punt return for a touchdown. Now a pick six from the defense for a touchdown. Anytime you can get 14 points out of your special teams, out of your defense, you put yourself in a great position to win a football game.
Lumberjacks offensively, 35 plays, 175 yards of total offense, 115 on the ground, 60 through the air in that first half of play. Terrell Wembley, 7 carries, 108 yards, averaging 15 yards a carry in the first half here tonight. He's in a pistol now behind Sam Vidlac, the quarterback. Turn, give it, coming left. Wembley turns it upfield, pushes it out over the 30, runs into the back of Robert Keller, and Rob slowly gets up, trying to make sure everything's working right.
And at 6'7", 306, I don't think you can get up any quicker than that.
And big man. And that's tough, getting hit in the back, especially down below the waist. Here's Vidlac, rolling right, has to throw this one in the dirt at the feet of Wembley, as Cal Poly did a good job that time sniffing that one out. And Vidlac, rather than putting the ball in harm's way, turfs it, and that will bring up 3rd down and 6 now for the Lumberjacks.
And those are the plays that goes unnoticed that a senior veteran quarterback make, that a young guy might try to do something a little extra and turn a bad play worse. Sam just throws it in the dirt and lives to play a 3rd and short here.
SFA 2 of 7 on 3rd downs in the first half. And Vidlac, short roll right, has Wembley out in the flat. Sam will keep it. Trying to make a man miss, can't. And he is dropped after a gain of only 1 to the 33-yard line. Sam showing what we saw from him a year ago. Able to extend plays and able to pick up yards on the ground. That time gets it upfield for a yard. And that will bring up a 4th and about 5. And Lockie Pozobin on to punt again for the Lumberjacks.
But another good decision there. You've got an 11-point lead. There's no reason to take a risk there. Just do what you can on the ground, and then if you got to punt it, you got to punt it.
Pozobin now, it's the first time really where he can just let one go here. Handles the snap, angles it away from the return man, who will let it bounce at the 30, fields it on the bounce, and runs out of bounds at about the 23 or 24-yard line.
And another great punt by Pozobin. The first half, he had 2 at the 1-yard line. The next 2 were about the 10 or 11-yard line, and then another great one right there.
10:39 to go, 3rd quarter, 21-10. SFA in front. Cal Poly with the ball when we return on ESPN Plus and FCS football. 21-10. Stephen F. Austin over Cal Poly Mustangs with the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard lines. They'll start things off here. 20 minutes, 3rd quarter, 10:39 to go in the 3rd quarter tonight here in Nacogdoches. Final non-conference game of the year. Quick slant over the middle, caught out at about the 27-yard line. And tackled immediately. Wheatley on the catch. Gain of about 6. Give him 5 on it, 2nd down and 5. Both these, neither one ever in a huddle. Akins quickly gets them back on the ball, gets ready to go again. Now motion, handoff, fake it, rolling right. Akins, not a whole lot there. SFA did a pretty good job trying to set the edge. Kai Thomas comes outside from his defensive end spot, is in on the tackle. Gain of a couple, 3rd down and about 2.
And that was Keon Solly on the edge trying to get a block there on Williams, but Malachi does a good job of shedding that and making a tackle.
The 3rd down and 2 now. The Lumberjack defensive unit trying to get off the field here again and keep Cal Poly bottled up here in this 3rd quarter. 9 on the line of scrimmage for SFA. See where they bring the pressure from or if they fall out of it. 3rd down and about 2.5. Pressure off the end. Deep shot, far sideline. Has a man out there. Ball a little bit underthrown. Batted around and incomplete. Ball, he had to slow down just a touch, and that allowed the cornerback to get back underneath it.
That was Solly again, and he had a step. And if that ball is out there just a little bit more, that's a big, big play for this Cal Poly offense.
The Mustangs, who were 4 of 10 on 3rd downs in the first half, trying to convert here in the 3rd quarter, forced to punt it once again. And SFA leading 21-10 will get the ball back here. Kylan Harris, who's already returned 1 for a touchdown tonight, waits back at about his 25-yard line. Low line driver. Harris waits. Oh, goes up late for the fair catch and gets hit in the jaw. And now another takedown after the play at the top of the screen up there, but you see the penalty flag fly as Harris just raised his hand about the time the coverage people got there.
Yeah, this one's going to be pretty close because he barely got that hand up as the defender was getting there. We'll take another look at it here.
Waiting, boom, there the hand goes up, and then whack. Takes a pretty good shot there. Able to hold on to the football. And Kobe Carter was exercised with the referee, and I think he was more
exactly
about the play up top.
Kick catching interference. Number 47, kicking team. Penalty is 15 yards from the end of the kick. Correction from the spot of the foul. First down.
You heard the explanation there. The other play that really was at the top of the screen, kind of after the fact. I just, out of the corner of my eye, saw it. It looked like somebody did the flying mare off the top rope.
Yeah, it was definitely late, and that's the one that Coach Carthel over here on Stephen F. Austin's sideline was so livid about, because he felt like that's where the flag should have been, maybe even both.
They mark off the penalty, so the Lumberjacks will get good field position to start this possession as they'll bring it all the way out to their 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Harris, Blaine Green, and Neighbors flank out wide to the right. Tight end to the left for Sam Vidlac. Now he'll bring Neighbors in motion back to the left. Here comes pressure up the A gap. They pick it up. Vidlac lets fly. Neighbors downfield, off his hands, and incomplete. Had him 3 steps beyond the defense, and he just can't find the handle.
Man, a great job by Sam, buying some time, letting that develop, and then throwing a really, really good ball. Just unfortunately, Neighbors not able to hold on to it there.
See it here, it hits him right in the hands. And Neighbors unable to gather it in because that one goes the distance if he catches it. As he would walk it into the end zone from there. Instead, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. 9 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Neighbors again in motion into the backfield. Turn, hand it to him this time. He's got his hands on it this time, and Neighbors will get it upfield beyond the 45 to about the 46. Well, if you catch them, you gain about 30 yards easily. Instead, you can run it, take about 3 hits, and gain 3.
But a good positive play there for Stephen F. Austin. Sets him up in 3rd and 6. You got a little bit more at your disposal as far as play calling goes.
Jacks back on the ball quickly. Vidlac 2-by-2 here, spread out in the formation for the Lumberjacks. Cal Poly showing pressure off the edge. Here it comes. Vidlac over the middle. Harris caught. 1st down yardage into Cal Poly territory at the 45-yard line before he spun down there by the secondary. As that was, I think, Ramirez on the stop for the Mustangs. Mason Rivera.
Yeah,
1st and 10, Lumberjacks.
A crucial tackle because we've seen if Kylon gets some space, he's going to be running for a while.
Vidlac, short roll right. Wanted his check down, wasn't there. Instead, comes underneath Whalen. Clayton Whalen down the sideline at the 20, the 10, the 5 on his feet. Reaches just short of the end zone. He's down to the 1-yard line. Clayton Whalen, great run after the catch. And the Lumberjacks knocking on the door again.
Yeah.
1st and goal at the 1.
Great effort by Whalen. As soon as he catches the ball, he's running towards the sideline. You think he's going to go out. He gets an arm. He breaks through that. You think he's going to go out. He cuts back in. He tries.
And here are the Lumberjacks on the ground pushing the pile. Crowder says, hey, we're in the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. Richard Reese from a yard out. And SFA extends the lead now. 27-10 with the extra point to come.
And Reese had some explosive plays last week. He's typically not the guy they go to in these short yardage situations, but he shows there he's not afraid to put his head down and go get a couple yards as well.
Clayton Whalen, big catch and run, sets that one up. Richard Reese pays it off, and the Lumberjacks stretch the lead now to 3 scores with the extra point here to make it an 18-point lead, middle of the 3rd quarter. As again, Vidlac only 60 yards passing in the 1st half. A bit more downfield here in the 2nd half, and the Jacks are taking advantage. As the extra point is up and good. 28-10 now. Lumberjacks with the lead. 7:31. See this touchdown here a moment ago. Richard Reese, again, just a big push over there, the right side of that offensive line. As they went right behind Jason Crowder Eric Gray over there and push it into the end zone.
Legal formation by the receiving team. Player lined up over the snapper. Penalty is declined. Try is good.
That was the penalty on the extra point.
Immediate timeout.
And now we'll take immediate timeout. 7:31 to go, third quarter, 28-10. SFA in front. Back with more after this on ESPN+. 18-point lead for the Lumberjacks, 28-10 over Cal Poly as the Mustangs await this kick. This will sail into the end zone for the touchback, and they'll start things out 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Total yardage now even, 234 yards apiece. Cal Poly 193 through the air, only 41 on the ground. SFA 127 on the ground, 107 through the air. 47 of it coming here in the second half. Is Sam Vidlac, 14 of 21. Clayton Whalen now 3 catches, 57 yards, the 1 touchdown, and the one a moment ago setting up the 1-yard touchdown by Richard Reese. So big night for Clayton Whalen.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of drops where Vidlac's numbers would be even better as well.
1st and 10 here. Lumberjacks really have done a great job defensively. Cal Poly really unable to get out beyond their own 30-yard line so far here in the third quarter. Fake the option, wanting to pass, grabbed, spun down back at the 25-yard line. As this won't go as a sack, it'll be a tackle for no gain. Xavier Potts. They'll actually give him a yard on it. So a gain of 1 as Potts will get the tackle on the quarterback. Again, it was an option look, and then he was going to stand up and try to take a shot downfield, but it just wasn't there.
Well, look, when you've got Aaron Austin, Eli Fields, Xavier Potts, Victor Ducey, it's very hard to keep those guys contained for this Cal Poly offensive line.
And they rush again, those 4. Downfield, and the man there, but just beyond his outstretched reach. Trying to go deep, and we got quarterback injured again. Penalty flag back in the Cal Poly backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 22, defense. Penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Carries an automatic first down.
So Jackson Akins is up, but he was back there in some pain. Akins is up and walking back to the huddle as they mark off that penalty against Xavier Potts. Hit after he let it go. And Akins, it would appear at this point, Cal Poly was trying to get somebody loose over there on the far sideline, trying to get Bo Kelly loose. But Akins is going to stay in the ball game. 1st and 10, Mustangs. Penalty brings it out to the 41-yard line. And we got movement up front against Cal Poly. False start.
False start, number 75, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Penalties now, really, both teams have kind of been hurt by some inopportune penalties. Cal Poly now 6 for 50 yards. Lumberjacks 4 for 45. A couple of those Lumberjack penalties have kept drives alive. 1st and 15 now. Mustangs a pass again. Here's the slant, caught it across midfield, breaking a tackle, 40-yard line to the sideline and out of bounds inside the SFA 35-yard line to the 33. Will go Briscoe with his 3rd catch of the night.
And he has been the big play guy for Cal Poly all night. He had the big touchdown on the screen earlier in the first half. He had a big 38-yard catch before that, and then that one there. He's just got some speed, and once he gets the ball, he's very good at finding the space and making some extra yardage.
Had Demings on him, and you saw Charles Demings there fall right as Briscoe made the catch, and then Briscoe with room to run. Big play for Cal Poly. Here's Potts coming in late, and again after the substitution, SFA taking their time. Their players on and off the field, and the play clock down to 0.
Timeout, Cal Poly. First charge of the second half. 30 seconds.
You can see there they have to burn the timeout to avoid a delay of game.
Little gamesmanship there from the Stephen F. Austin coaching staff. Once Cal Poly subs, Stephen F. Austin has the ability to sub, but it doesn't say that they have to sub right away immediately. They got some time, and they are taking all the time that they're allotted.
So the quick timeout here as Cal Poly avoids the 5-second or 5-yard walk-off here. 6:05 to go, third quarter, 28-10. SFA with all 14 points so far here in this second half of play. Has led 14-10 at the half and now up 18 over the Mustangs, who again, their road trip continues. They open up Big Sky play next week on the road at Sacramento State. Lumberjacks continue their homestand. They open up Southland Conference play against McNeese, who is down to Utah State. That last report, we'll check on that one again in a few moments. Up the middle, Akins with the quarterback run down inside the 20-yard line. And Akins will take it all the way down to the 19.
Yeah, a really good job. They run just an outside zone with the running back, and if that defensive end gets wide, Akins can keep it, which he does, and gets positive yards.
And now the Lumberjacks take a timeout. 5:47 to go.
That is a doozy.
Yep.
That looks like a cramp. We talked about that humidity and higher temperatures here tonight, and this is the first kind of showing of that.
At halftime, it had cooled down to 79 degrees, but still the relative humidity at that time is 79 degrees, 75% humidity.
Right.
Winds out of the south at 10 to 15 miles an hour. We got weathering together on the 8s here on ESPN Plus on a Saturday night, but I mean, it's just kind of warm and sticky. And if we figured here in the second half we'd start to see some of this as they stretch Victor Aduse out.
Good to see him up, walking off on his own power again. It looked like a cramp from here. I don't think that's a serious injury. They can get him over here, get some fluids in it, and see him again in a couple of drives.
Ducey making his way here to the near sideline. So each team now with 2 timeouts. Actually, I don't think they're going to. They said that they had called a defensive timeout, but I don't think the Lumberjacks will be charged with a timeout here.
No, that was just an injury timeout. Yeah. They'll run it right here.
Humidity and temperature and all the meteorology stuff there. I had to. The old Hall of Famer, Robert Hill, put in the Athletic Hall of Fame, your former athletic director, Stephen F. Austin. He would love that stuff. Here's a run inside. Lumberjacks will bottle this one up, lose 1 back to the 20-yard line. Malachi back in there. Cam Reddick in there as well for the Lumberjacks, coming downhill quickly from his safety spot. Talking to the Cal Poly AD earlier before the game as well. We'll talk about they got the John Madden Football Center under construction out in San Luis Obispo. Talk about that in a few moments as well. Quarterback delay up the field, 15. Oh, big hit at the 12. Ball popped free. It's loose in a scramble down inside the 15-yard line. Each team saying they've got the recovery.
That was Reddick again with the hit, but
wow.
Man, that's the gamble you take putting your quarterback as a runner like that, is he's bound to take some big shots.
And he got it back. Akins was able to get it back. Man, he took a pretty good shot there, but he at this point appears to be none the worse for wear. But having worn those pads like he's wearing here tonight, you feel those, don't you?
I did not, because I slid or just didn't run. But yes, the few times that I did take some shots, those pads seem like they're not even there.
Third down and about 3 now. Give it to the tailback this time. Jack's trying to hold him short of the line to gain and may have forced a 4th down. Will depend on the spot, which will be just inside the 10-yard line. And appears to be just short of the 1st down, but you would think down 18 here, Cal Poly's got to go for it on 4th and less than 1.
Yeah, you've got to start taking some bites out of this lead if you're going to mount a 4th quarter comeback.
4 minutes to go. Third quarter, 28-10. SFA in front of Cal Poly as the Jacks again substitute defensively. Caden Turner comes in middle of it. They will line up under center. Full house is in the backfield. Lead blockers to the right, and they'll have the 1st down as they go 1979 type football back then. 3 backs in the backfield. If everybody goes right, get a yard and a half, and we'll play again. First and goal now.
Aaron Austin for Stephen F. Austin almost chased that one down and got him behind the line of scrimmage. A heck of an effort by him, just a half step too late.
Next again, after the offensive subs, they will their personnel on the field here. Deming's back out there at one of the corners for the SFA defense. Everybody bunched in tight for Cal Poly. First and goal. Akins wants to pass into the end zone, picked off at the goal line. Coming out at the 5, the 10, 15. That's Jaden Southard. Southard, and the middle linebacker. We featured him in the pregame. He makes a big play there to stop a threat by Cal Poly. Third turnover of the night forced by the SFA defense.
And through 2 weeks, this Stephen F. Austin defense had no turnovers forced. And then here tonight, they've got 3 already. Just a high throw by Akins. He lets it fly in a congested area. Again, another moment where you see some inexperience show its face.
Yeah, and that's one of those spots down there where you can't throw one high.
Exactly.
That's what happens. Big return there by Southern. Gets it all the way out to the 18-yard line. First and 10 Lumberjacks now. They lead 28-10 as they put an end to that scoring threat by Cal Poly, and the Mustangs. The turnovers tonight have really hurt. One led directly. One was returned for a touchdown. The other led to the first offensive touchdown of the night by the Lumberjacks. Here come the Jacks again with the offensive unit. And with Neighbors, the wide receiver, getting another rushing attempt. He'll pick up about 3 out to the 21-yard line, second down and 7.
It'll be interesting to see here what Stephen F. Austin wants to do offensively. They've opened it up more in the pass game this second half. But remember, that first half, Wembley was averaging over 10 yards a carry. Are they going to put him back in and try to eat some of this clock on the ground game?
Wembley right now, 9 carries, 122 yards, averaging just under 14 yards an attempt. Here he comes again. 20, 25s, tries to break out of that tackle. Now gets pushed forward, out close to the 30. And depending on the spot, he's going to get the first down. But Rob Keller comes in and gets Jarrell Wembley an extra 2.5 yards as he pushes that pile forward.
Yeah, and a great effort by Keller at 306 pounds. If he's pushing you, it's going to take a lot to stop it.
So first down Lumberjacks as they move the pile to the 29-yard line. And Wembley having his best rushing game of the season so far as he is approaching 150 on the night. Motion to the left. Vidlac looking to the wheel route, has him downfield, wide open, caught at the 40, 30, and out of bounds in deep in Cal Poly territory.
That was Aiden Meeks. I believe that's his first catch of the season.
He was the motion man, and man, when he went on that wheel route, nobody went with him. And they're playing catch up all the way. Meeks all the way down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. First and 10 Lumberjacks.
And the one thing the turnovers for Cal Poly does is this defense has been on the field a lot tonight. We've talked about the humidity, the temperature, and they are getting worn down quickly.
Especially the first half, Lumberjacks only had the ball 13 minutes, but this third quarter, it's been all SFA. Vidlac to the post, high, caught, touchdown Lumberjacks. Bowler with the catch, and the Lumberjacks extend the lead to 34-10. Eric Bowler with the catch. Man, he was wide open, just going right up the seam there.
Yeah, just a miscommunication in the back end. The safety needs to help over a little bit. The corner thinks he's going to be there. He's not. Just a miscommunication. And another part where you see the fatigue come in is mental mistakes, just not being in an area that you're supposed to be in.
Minute 23 to go here in the third. Lumberjacks tack on another one after the turnover. And this kick is up and good. The extra point through. 35-10 now. Jacks starts to take control of this one here over Cal Poly. With a minute 23 left here in the third quarter. We keep it here this time, but turnovers have led the scores, and the Lumberjacks, this was a 14-10 ball game when the third quarter began. So 21 points here in this third quarter. interception return for a touchdown, and 2 offensive scores set up by big plays. And Sam Vidlac, who had 60 yards through the air in the first half, starting to pick up some chunks now here in this third quarter.
And talking about the defense being on the field so much, we saw them get a ton of pressure on Vidlac early in this game with just their front four, but they've been on the field so much that they're gassed and they cannot get pressure on him anymore.
Look at the form now tonight on the mascot push-ups tonight. Last week, his push-ups, when we were 56 points, they were not deep, full push-ups. Tonight, he is getting it done.
If you're new, every time they score, he does the amount of the scoreboard. So it's a domino effect. They score 7, and he's got to do 7. They score 14, now he's got to do 14. So really, he's done 21, and it just keeps on escalating. And he's really hoping that this Cal Poly defense gets over there, makes some adjustments, and is able to stop this before it gets out of hand, because he is worn out.
Yes, I give him credit tonight, though, because that was his 35th there. That was a full deep push-up. He was not short-arming those tonight. Kicked into the end zone for the touchback, and Cal Poly starts again at their own 25. Their best possession of the third quarter just a moment ago ended with the pick by Southard at the goal line. And right now, I would think if you're the Mustangs over there on the offensive, in that offensive huddle, just fellas, just move it down the field and let's pay one off here and put one in the end zone.
Yeah, and Aiken did a great job that last drive of using his legs, getting some positive plays there. That's the biggest part that Diefenbach brought to this offense when he went out. And now they're going to make a change at quarterback and see if they can shake it up and get a shot in the arm here.
Aikens did take a couple of big shots, so they do make the change now. So the third quarterback of the night for the Mustangs.
That is going to be Bo Kelly, a redshirt junior.
Kelly, first snap, will hand off to his tailback, trying to find a crease up the middle, but there wasn't much there. A lot of purple in there gunning things up. As Aaron Austin, big Victor Eduse get up off the bottom of the stack. Gain of about 2 for the tailback. As that Paul Holyfield, I think, getting his first carry as well. So a new tailback, new quarterback now for the Mustangs. Gain of a couple. Second down and 8. Kelly again, this time short roll right. Has some time, gets outside containment, looks upfield, dumps it late back inside, and that one incomplete. In the neighborhood of Holyfield, and that's dangerous. Rolling right, throwing it back across your body toward the middle of the field. Lucky probably to get that one back.
Yeah, and again, you saw Aikens throw it to the middle of the field, that last interception right here. Coming in relief on Kelly, he does the same exact thing. You just got to calm down and play within the scheme. You're not going to get it all back in one play, in one drive. Just take what the defense gives you, put the drive together, and see where it ends.
Third down and 8 here. 38 seconds left here in the third quarter. Cal Poly looking to convert. 4-man rush. Good pocket. Good coverage. Broken up. Guess who? Malachi Williams. Closed quickly on that one. Got there as the ball got there and breaks that one up. Incomplete. 4th and 8. And the Mustangs once again will bring on the punt team.
Yeah, really good job by Williams. You mentioned the pick 6 earlier, and then right there, he gets to that stick route just as the ball does. He's easy right there for somebody to get there early and get a PI and give them a free first down. He doesn't do that. He holds up just a hair, waits for the ball, and then makes a great play.
4th and 8. As the Mustangs on to punt once again. No pressure, kick away, another line drive on the run. Kylan Harris fields it, one man misses, the second and third don't, and Harris will be wrestled down at the 45-yard line. Short return of about 6 yards on that one for Kylan Harris. But SFA once again, great field position to start a drive here in the closing seconds of the third quarter, up by 4 scores now. 35-10.
And even there, just a line drive kick. The first guy does not bring Kylan Harris down. We saw the big punt return earlier. He is a tough guy to get down in the open field.
And the Lumberjacks will make a change at quarterback as well, as Gavin Rutherford now is going to get a series with the Lumberjacks up 35-10. Richard Reese will join Rutherford in the backfield. And the Lumberjacks will just, I would think now, here's Rutherford, swing it out. Harris on a little flanker screen. Kylan Bounces off the first guy, and they rally, and they will make the tackle in Mustang territory at the 49-yard line, but that's still a gain of 7 yards and set up second down and 3, and should be the final play of the third quarter. Harris getting his numbers down. That'll do it for the third quarter. 35-10 as the Lumberjacks score 3 times in that third quarter to stretch the lead now to 35-10 over Cal Poly. Fourth quarter coming up after this on ESPN+. Fourth quarter getting ready to get underway here in Nacogdoches tonight as we close out non-conference play for both of these teams. Lumberjacks lead Cal Poly 35-10. Final 15 minutes of action coming your way. Lumberjacks in that third quarter, 21 unanswered points, now lead 35-10 as SFA so far tonight has run 49 plays, 323 yards of offense. Cal Poly 62 plays, 293 yards of total offense. Lumberjacks done big bulk of their work on the ground, 185 yards rushing. Jarrell Wembley 10 carries, 130 yards to lead the way tonight for the Lumberjacks. But third downs, in my opinion, to me, that's one of the big stats in football here. It tells the tell. Lumberjacks were struggling on third downs in the first half. They were 2 for 7. Here in the third quarter, they were 2 for 3, but only 3 third downs. When you convert, keep your offense on the field, and more importantly, keep that defense on the field. If they wear down, and then the chance to make a big play just increases. Here's Rutherford on now. Richard Reese gets a shot down inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. He'll pick up another Lumberjack first down. That's their 16th first down of the night. And the Jacks keep the chains moving, keep the clock running.
And that's exactly right. The Jacks would love nothing more than to kill 5-6 minutes off of this clock right here. Finish it in the end zone, of course, is always the #1 goal. But if you can run this clock down and kind of make this a short and sweet fourth quarter, that's what you want to do.
For the night, SFA now 4 of 10 on third downs. Here's another running attempt on first down. Not a lot there. Stacked up after only a couple. Rob Keller again gets up off the bottom of the pile, leading the way for the Lumberjack offensive unit. Gain of 2. Lumberjacks again 4 of 10 on third downs. Cal Poly 4 of 15. They were 0 for 5 on third downs in that third quarter of play. Turned it over a couple of times, and that led to 21 unanswered for SFA. They control this one 35-10. Rutherford on here in the fourth now. They show pressure off the edge. Here it comes. Picked up well. Now Gavin rolls away from it and has to bench this one as he just ran out of time. Nobody open. Really only had 3 guys, I think, out in the pattern that time. Just nobody to go to.
Yeah, and that's a good decision to just throw it away and live to play third down here. Try to force something. You see bad things happen. We've seen that couple of turnovers from Cal Poly tonight. Right there, good decision.
So here's one of those third downs we talked about. Jacks 2 for 3 in the third quarter. Can they convert on 3rd and long? 3rd and 7. Mustangs 6 on the line of scrimmage. They bring 5. Rutherford on the out. Caught, but a great tackle right away as the catch is made at the 39-yard line. Will hold them short of the needed yardage as they only get about 3 of it. And it's 4th and 5 now for SFA at the Cal Poly 39. The offense will stay out there. SFA 1 of 1 on 4th downs tonight.
Yeah, and this is just kind of no man's land. It's a little bit too short to really get a good punt. Too far, obviously, for field goal, so you're really not risking anything here going for it. I wouldn't be surprised either if they did a hard cat and tried to get a free first down.
A lot of movement, shifting everybody back and forth. 4th and 5, they'll snap it. On the wheel route, wide open and dropped. Oh, going to be a walk-in for Richard Reese as they sneak him out of the backfield. Reese couldn't find the handle. Incomplete.
And just a great play call by Chris Ross, the offensive coordinator. He knows that Cal Poly's going to heat him up right here and bring some pressure. No one's accounting for the back. As you say, Reese is going to walk into the end zone if he catches that one.
Incomplete. 1st and 10, though. Mustangs at their own 39-yard line. So there's one that you look at tomorrow and say, well, we let this one get away. Got to find a way to catch that one, but You're up 35-10. That'll be a teaching moment for somebody, I suspect.
And you hear it in practice screamed out every practice, catch it before you run, catch it before you run. And then you see one of those, you just say, ah. If he just catches it before he runs, he's okay.
Here's Kelly on at quarterback now for Cal Poly. Little play action. Happy feet in the backfield, finds his tight end, I think, along the far boundary, and he gets driven out of bounds after a short game. First catch, I think, by their big tight end here tonight.
Yep, that's Alec Marshall, the tight end, 6'7", 240, just a big, big guy, hard to bring down.
Picks up 7, second down and 3. Elliott again taking some time here as they are letting some clock run down between snaps. They get back on the line of scrimmage, but then take their time. Kelly sets again, dances, throws late underneath coverage and incomplete, and a flag comes in from the umpire in the area of what will probably be holding against Cal Poly.
Holding, number 70, offense. 10-yard penalty in the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
That's Charlie Adams, the sophomore.
They'll back him up, and they'll look at second down and 13 now. Washington State. That one was close for a while, but the old Huskies get things rolling in the second half. 2 minutes to go in that one now. Washington leads 59-24.
Wow. Quick
on the out. Nice hands catch near the sideline. Wheatley makes the grab at about the 41-yard line, gets the penalty yardage back, and they'll look at third down and 7. So there's your Pac-12 update for the night. Everybody on the edge of the seat for that one. Nice trailing at Utah State 48-7. 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in Logan, Utah tonight. Third down and 8. Mustangs trying to convert. They'll empty the backfield now. Kelly, 4-man rush for the Lumberjacks. Time, now it runs out, rolls left, looks downfield, has a man out there. Wheatley, but he overthrows him, incomplete.
Wow, and a great job by Kelly moving his feet, buying some time, creating something, and he's got Wheatley there. He just overthrows him a little bit. He wants to have that one back because that would have been a massive play.
4th and 8, they have to send out the punt team. And Cal Poly again back to the West Coast following this one. They open up Big Sky play next week against Sacramento State. Sacramento State leading Central Arkansas at the half, 28-6. In Sacramento is this kick. Nice high booming kick. New return man, fair catch signaled for as he'll let it bounce and into the end zone untouched. And the Jacks will start out at their own 20-yard line. Stetson Surratt back there for the Jacks to field that punt. And we got a timeout on the field. 11-12 to go in this one tonight. 35-10, SFA in front. Back with more after this on ESPN+. First and 10, SFA coming out at their own 20-yard line. They lead 35-10 with just over 11 minutes to go in this one. Gavin Rutherford on here in the fourth quarter at quarterback for the Lumberjacks. Cal Poly still showing pressure. They rush 4, snap a little high. Rutherford goes back, gets it, looks downfield, and throws this one away. Everybody covered. And that snap, I think, a little high. Still probably should have been caught, but Rutherford able to go back and get it. There's a penalty flag down. I think she's over there talking. Head linesman.
There's no foul for intent for a player downfield. Result of the play is incomplete pass. Second down.
All right.
And I thought that's what they were discussing, but I couldn't understand it. There was 2 receivers over there by where Rutherford threw the ball, so I'm thinking there's no way that's what they're discussing, but I guess they were.
in that, and I'm not. I don't know if the ball ever got past the line of scrimmage.
Well, if there's a receiver there, it really
didn't
doesn't
matter. But I mean, even if there's anybody downfield,
exactly,
that's why there's no penalty, I think.
Right.
2nd down and 10 here. Inside give, and this time Cal Poly gets good penetration there, and Lumberjacks will have a negative play here in the ground game. As Anthony Williams with the carry, and he'll lose a couple, and it's 3rd down and about 11 now, or 12 for the Lumberjacks. Deep their own end of the field, but they lead 35-10. And right now their best friend is a running clock. That's all they want to see. Time ticking away here. Mustangs trying to force the issue. Rutherford wants to throw. Deep shot near sideline. Trying to go to Bowler. And that's incomplete. A little overthrown, and a late penalty flag comes in. There was some hand fighting going on, but. And then I think there's another one back in the SFA backfield. They see there, they separate some players back there. Officials trying to get control of this.
I think that might have been Brayton Breelove in coverage on the edge that they're going to call PI on, but I thought he had some good coverage. I thought their hand fight was back and forth. I really didn't see PI there.
Players, they were separated. Mikey D'Amato, their middle linebacker, their leading tackler, was the one being ushered away from the festivities.
2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Pass interference, defense number 47. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 44, defense. Penalties enforced. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So the drive will stay alive for the Lumberjacks after the penalty. And they'll move it out to the 33 with 10:20 to go. The Jacks can burn a little bit more clock here. Right now, that's what they want. They just want to start piling up some first downs here. Try to run 5 or 6 minutes off this clock. Safeties walking up for the Mustangs. They bring them. Here's Rutherford. Pass tipped into the air. And was it picked? Caught? Loose? I don't know. I think now whistles blow, and their officials are going to have to decide if this ball was caught, if it was intercepted or what. Rutherford, you see they get a hand there.
Player with a helmet off on the defense. 40 seconds
ball
on the
hit
play
the
clock,
ground.
please.
So an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. As we look at it again, and you can see right, they dive here and then the ball hits the ground, and then it's kind of batted around and then a scramble, but didn't mean anything. 2nd down and 10 here for the Lumberjacks.
Bobby Pylan Jr. getting the hand on the ball at the line of scrimmage and getting it up in the air.
A bit surprising that I kind of figured they just put a wing out there and run behind it. Here's Williams doing just that. Anthony Williams out beyond the 40 to the 41. And here's another late penalty flag after the tackle. The umpire with that flag. And the referee, man, they've been busy tonight.
They have.
James Brookhart is the referee.
After the play was over. Wait.
I'm talking to America here. Blind judge trying to make sure he gets
After
it
the
right.
play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 74, offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. Down counts, 3rd down.
That's big, because that's why that line judge wanted to walk in there and tell him that they did not pick up the first down. So it was a dead ball penalty, and it moves it all the way back to the 26-yard line, where the Lumberjacks will now look at 3rd down and about 17 needed for the first down.
And that was Allegria that's stepping in for Henry. Henry did not start tonight. He's injured. Allegria's in there. He's played a really good game, gets a personal foul there.
And really, the Jacks early on, Cal Poly was giving them, they had their hands full with them, pass protecting for Sam Vidlac, but they've really stepped it up here of late. They run a twist this time. Rutherford steps up, now will run away from pressure. They grab him by the ankles. They'll go down back at the 27-yard line, and another helmet pops off another defender.
Yeah, that was Victory Johnson, the defensive lineman for Cal Poly.
Little or no gain that time for Rutherford. Ball spotted at the 27, and the Lumberjack punting unit will come on. So they really don't achieve what they wanted to do that time. I thought, just grind it out, pick up some first downs, try to get this one over with. With 9 minutes to go, they'll give it back to the Mustangs. And at 35-10, you feel like that this one has been decided, but man, you certainly don't want to let them get the idea that they're still in the ball game. No pressure this time. The Australian with the high floating punt. Fair catch made at the 37-yard line. And we got a timeout on the field. 8:47 to go. Lumberjacks in control, 35-10 over the Mustangs of Cal Poly. Back with more FCS football on ESPN+. 8:47 to go in this one here tonight as Cal Poly takes over once again, down 35-10. Motion out of the backfield for the Mustangs. Kelly, the quarterback, looks for the deep ball up the sideline. As there is a penalty flag back in the secondary. It should have come earlier there. He picks it up again and heaves it this time. I'm not sure what the official here on the side judge was looking at, but the guy in the middle saw, because the defender had a handful of jersey as they were running downfield. It's going to be pass interference against the Lumberjacks.
Pass interference, number 25, defense. Penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Carries an automatic first down.
Coach Carthel is arguing that that was uncatchable, which it might have very well been. If it would have been a holding call, then, that doesn't matter. But because it's a pass interference call, it does kind of matter that it landed 5 yards out of bounds.
That moves the ball into SFA territory, 1st and 10. 8:42 to play in this one. Kelly, third quarterback to play tonight for the Mustangs. Middle run this time. Out inside the 45 to the 44 and separate everybody down there. That run that time, I think Tony Fletcher, or Troy Fletcher rather. Troy Fletcher, the running back, picks up about 3, 2nd down and 7. Kelly again takes the snap, looks over the middle, drag route underneath, caught. Jacks kind of playing the sticks that time. They do not let the receiver get away. That's Briscoe. And that is, I think, probably his shortest catch of the night.
He's had a big game so far. They just haven't gotten him the ball enough. It's hard when you're getting the pressure that they're getting, but when they've gotten him the ball, other than that right there, he's made some big plays for this Cal Poly offense.
His 4th catch, 137 yards. And that one good only for about 5, so the other 3 have been big. 3rd down and 4. They show pressure. Here it comes from the corner. Kelly cannot get away this time. He goes down. Lumberjacks pick up another sack as they get pressure, and really the front 4 was the one getting there. They got there before the corner did.
Yeah, that was Kadarian Erskine, number 93, with the sack.
Hayden Turner was also there. Looked like Tim Mohammed was getting some pressure, but the Jacks get pressure. A sack back to the 48, and the punting unit will come on here for Cal Poly. Jesse Ehrlich, sophomore from Melbourne, Australia. He's really done a pretty good job tonight, but he didn't keep him away from Kylan Harris. He took one to the house for a punt return. This one angled away from Surratt. He'll field it going out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. And no penalty flags. Timeout on the field. 6:37 to go in this one tonight. 35-10 Lumberjacks. Trying to finish this one off. Back with the conclusion after this on ESPN+. SFA starts off deep their own end of the field, starting out at the 12-yard line. Gavin Rutherford at quarterback for the Lumberjacks. They lead 35-10. Snap, handed off, coming right, trying to get to the edge, tripped up, and down at about the 15-yard line will go Richard Reese. Or check it, that's not Reese. New tailback for the Lumberjacks.
That's Brandon Lewis.
Yep, Braden Lewis. His first carry, redshirt freshman. 5'9", 206-pounder out of Dangerfield, Texas. Finals tonight in the Southland Conference. Next up for the Lumberjacks will be the McNeese Cowboys. McNeese State losing to Utah State tonight, 48-7. LSU beats Southeastern Louisiana 56-10. Check others in the Southland scoreboard in a moment. Lumberjacks again keep it on the ground. Lewis this time breaks out to the left, gets a couple more near the 17-yard line. They'll set up third down at about 6. Northern Arizona beat Incarnate Word 31-23. Houston Christian falls in overtime 26-23 to Northern Colorado. Grambling beat East Texas A&M 31-28. Prairie View over Northwestern State 27-24. Big Sky scores up next for Cal Poly. Sacramento State, they lead Central Arkansas 35-6 with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter in Sacramento. Rutherford takes the snap, looks to pass, out in the left flat, caught, but tackled immediately at the 19-yard line will go Lewis, as he cannot get the needed yardage for the first down, and it's 4th and about 4. And the clock continues to run with 5 minutes to go, and the Lumberjacks will be forced to punt it away again from inside their own 20-yard line. Lockie Pizobin has done a really good job punting the ball tonight. Early, he had 2 punts killed at the Cal Poly 1-yard line. And he's done a good job of just, directional kicking, keeping it away from return people and allowing his coverage to get downfield to cover it.
Yeah, he's definitely put himself in the discussion for Special Teams Player of the Week in the Southland Conference and possibly across all of FCS.
Delay a game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
They'll back it up inside the 15-yard line now for the Lumberjack special teams to get this one away. Quick first half and a slow second half.
That's right. I don't think these coaching staffs got the message that we want to run the ball in this fourth quarter.
And Pizobin, a line drive kick. Fielded on the run with a fair catch at about the 47-yard line. So Mustangs with a short field, but down by 25 here. 4:18 to play. And they're looking, I would think at this point, they just need to find something positive to take into next week. They had their starting quarterback injured in the first quarter, but their other 2 I thought have played well tonight here after they came on in relief. Akins, but he took some big shots, and now we've seen Kelly here for the last several series.
Yeah, both have shown some good things. Both have also turned the ball over or at least put the ball in harm's way. So there's a lot to clean up there, but a lot of positives, especially out of Akins earlier.
So Bo Kelly, again, redshirt junior, 6 foot, 195-pounder out of Dana Point, California. He directs things now as he will line up under center this time for the Mustangs. Tailback 7 yards deep behind him. Turn, give it. Bounce it right tackle. Not a lot there. Gets it across midfield to the 49-yard line. As they unstack down there, Lumberjacks getting up. Making the tackle for the Lumberjacks, McNeil. Senior defensive back transfer from Southern Miss on the stop for SFA. Down at about 7 now as they work it out of the gun. 3:45 to play, and now a timeout.
Stephen F. Austin, first charged of the second half. This is a 30-second timeout.
And one of the Lumberjack defensive coaches came off the sideline, a bit exercised. Somebody wasn't getting lined up right.
And that's what always the struggle when you get these younger guys in the game late like this is we want to see if you can take, you've got limited reps in the week as far as actual physical reps, but you've got a lot of mental reps. Can you take that and apply it when you get your chance in a game? Can you get lined up? Can you be where you're supposed to be? Can you communicate to the other 10 guys on defense? And those are the things When you can't do that, that drives coaches crazy.
The Lumberjacks have to stop the clock here with 3:44 to go. And the Mustangs looking at second down and about 7. Mentioned it earlier. Again, they've got a big construction project going on their campus, building the John Madden Football Center. 3 football Hall of Famers from Cal Poly. Their AD educated me on this earlier tonight. John Madden, of course, who his family with the lead gift to help them build their football center. John Madden, Bobby Beathard, and Ernie Zampese. All in the Football Hall of Fame. None of them players, all coaches. Here's a roll right, completed, inbounds, downfield, first down, inside the 40, down to about the 35-yard line. The Mustangs keep things moving there as they get it down to about the 35-yard line. Troy Fletcher with the catch and run. Bobby Beathard, GM. He was the GM of the, at the time, San Diego Chargers when they took Michael Ricks, Lumberjack wide receiver. I think he was their second pick after they picked Ryan Leaf with the #1 overall pick that year. Here's a post, downfield, caught, 10-yard line, walk it in, touchdown, Cal Poly. Deep on the post, wide open back there, and the Mustangs cut into the lead, 35-16 now with the extra point to come. As that one caught downfield by Salehi.
Yeah, and a really good throw by Kelly. He's kind of over the backers and under the safety. Really good job layering that throw and giving his guy a chance not only to catch it, but to run after catch.
Remember, Cal Poly, that was the first touchdown they scored. They led 10-7. They'd given up 28 unanswered before they finally tacked that one on. The extra point is up and good to make it 35-17 now with 2:59 to go. And we've kind of been talking about it this entire fourth quarter. Now, if you're the SFA offense, there's certainly nothing more that you need to do than just get out there and string some first downs together and run this final 2:59 off the clock here.
Yeah, the one thing that not picking up these first downs, other than extending the game time, obviously, but it allows this Cal Poly team to get that touchdown right there, and now you've got a re-energized group over there. It feels like, hey, crazier things have happened. Let's see what we can do here.
So the Mustangs down 35-17 now to kick it away. And everything's back on the table now. I mean, if now, do you try it onside here? It's kind of probably early. Kick it away. Lumberjacks forced to make those decisions as well. The coaching staff, they're not sure. Kind of, I think, thinking that they might see that. The Mustangs will kick this one away as this driving kick sails into the end zone. Touchback. And the Jacks will start first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. In Sac State next up for Cal Poly. After that, they've got UC Davis. They are in a tight one with Southern Utah. 7 minutes to go in the first half in that one. UC Davis now has just added a score. They lead Southern Utah 22-14. And Montana all over Indiana State today, 63-20. That one in Missoula. Rutherford, hand inside, bouncing it out over the 30 to almost, well, they're going to mark him down at the 30-yard line. We'll go Davis. Lewis, rather, Braden Lewis. Gain of about 5. Continues to run, 2:35 to go. Lumberjacks now 162 yards on the ground on 33 attempts. Wembley ends his night 10 carries, 130 yards. Toss it to Lewis, coming left, lowers his shoulder and dives for the sticks and will get it at the 35-yard line. So a first down for the Lumberjack offense. There's the first one. They need one more. think this is going to get it to the 2-minute warning, or 2-minute timeout, rather. And the final timeout of the night. 2 minutes left in this one, 35-17. SFA trying to finish this one off here over Cal Poly. You're watching FCS football on ESPN. Final 2 minutes of play here tonight. Lumberjacks at the 2-minute timeout. Will kneel this one the rest of the way as Rutherford takes a knee, and Cal Poly, with a couple of timeouts in their pocket, will let this one go as they trail 35-17. So each team's going to finish non-conference play at 2-2 on the year. Lumberjacks having won 2 straight after dropping their season opener to Houston and then falling to Abilene Christian. Beat Sul Ross a week ago, and now a minute 29 away from beating Cal Poly here tonight. Mustangs coming off a nice win over Western Oregon last week. Now they enter conference play next week on the road at Sacramento State, and possibly without their starting quarterback, who led them the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, for this Cal Poly team is our starting quarterback goes down. He was our leading rusher coming into the game. We were having a prolific offensive season so far through the air with him. He's done what did we see out of Aiken and out of Kelly that makes us feel good offensively moving forward.
Final minute here tonight. Lumberjacks, after taking a couple of knees, going to get close to being able to kneel this thing out, and it's going to depend on how long it takes them to. I mean, you got to go run around a bit and take some time off. Rutherford quickly takes a knee. There's under 40 seconds left, so that'll do it here tonight. So the final 30 seconds will tick this one away as the Lumberjacks are going to get a 35-17 win over Cal Poly. First ever meeting between these two teams. They'll take a year off in this 4-game series next year, but the Lumberjacks will return the game to San Luis Obispo 2 years from now, and then the two teams will hook up twice more, home and home, after that one. 35-17, Jacks win it tonight. The night of big plays as Cal Poly throws a pick 6 early in the third quarter to help open things up for the Lumberjacks as the Jacks got a special teams touchdown, a defensive score, and then got the offense rolling here in the second half, en route to a 35-17 win over the Mustangs of Cal Poly. Sam Vidlac finished the offensive scoring, the bowler there with the touchdown as the Mustangs. You see here this pick by Jaden Southard to thwart an scoring opportunity for Cal Poly early in the second half. And that really kind of set the tone. Lumberjacks defensively got the job done, and the offense made the most of it and come away with a big win here tonight over the Mustangs.
Yeah, and this is exactly the game you wanted if you're Stephen F. Austin. You open conference next week here at home against McNeese State. You needed to see a complete game offensively and defensively. Tack on some really good special team play as well, and you feel as good as you could feel going into conference play.
Cal Poly opens Big Sky play on the road next week at Sac State. Lumberjacks opens Southland Conference play against McNeese here at Homer Bryant Stadium a week from tonight. For Hunter Taylor, I'm Rob Myers. For our whole crew, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week here on ESPN.